international debut in November by Old Trafford legend Ryan Giggs. James came close to joining the Swans.
And so I'm back on track every Wednesdays to Fridays. And guys, I miss you and I love you. And it's good to be back because I can't wait to give a free recharge card on the show. And straight down to our Women Crush Wednesday. Drum rolls. Well, our Women Crush Wednesday goes to Naomi Campbell. Naomi is actually someone that most of us gush about. Especially the rumors that went around that she's dating our very own Wizzy. But how did you guys know that Naomi was dating Wizkid? Just because you saw both of them going out for an event, they walked in together, they were holding hands. That doesn't mean both of them are dating. But anyways, you're crushing on her right now today, and she is a British model. She's an actress and a businesswoman. Well, Naomi was born today, the 22nd of May, 1970. Wow. She doesn't look her age. She's still hot. I'm trying to say she's sexy. Right, yeah, I think I'll give it to her. She's very, very sexy. Who wouldn't want to roll with Naomi? I think a Nigerian artist, D'banj did it. They'll just roll with her and then make a stunt and just blow that single that they want to release. That was always Kid did, and you guys are saying they are dating. Come on. Our Tiwa is there. And speaking of Tiwa, let me just say it at once. Veteran King did his listening party and for his new release, and lots of people, they started talking. Tiwa and Wizkid finally came to an event together. Blah blah blah. Y'all should leave both of them alone, whether they're dating or not. And they're saying, and she's been away. She just got back. They're together. Hey, these that. So they should best friends. They're besties, man. They shouldn't hang out together. Well, people are talking about, I don't see anything wrong with you hanging out with your best friend. Your best friend might be someone from the opposite sex. Whether anything is going down is nobody's business. But then, Tiwa is a hot, sexy mother. And then Wizkid, I wanted to say hot and sexy father. And Wizkid is a star boy that we just love. So whether both of them are dating or not, I think it's none of your business that are touching two of them at an event, dancing, Wizkid hitting her birth and all of that. Nobody cares right now. Okay, so you guys should just let the video be. Let Wizkid and Tiwa Savage be already. I'm tired of the gist in a good way. But there is something I am not tired about. Cardi B. She never ceases to surprise or amaze me, Cardi B would just come up one morning and she'll just do one thing, drop one song. I was just wondering, how can somebody just give birth and all of a sudden you're just making music, featuring this person, you're on this person's song, you're jumping on tracks, come on. She was planning her own concert tour, and she did a surgery, I think is liposuction, where they have to remove excess fats from your stomach and then put it in some sensitive parts. Places that you really want to be endowed, like your boobs, your behind. That was what she did. And the doctors actually asked her to take a whole lot of rest very well. But Cardi B seems to be very stubborn. I have to say it, because how can you go for such surgery and you're not even following the doctor's report or procedures? She just went about making music, and right now she posted and said that moment when you feel your skin is just falling off. So she's having an after effect. Like Tracy say, imagine not performing and then one thing started dripping down. But that wouldn't happen to Cardi B, because she actually at her management posted that she'll be cancelling her tour because she needed to rest. She went for surgery and she needed a lot of rest, but Cardi didn't, and it actually hit her like really strong, and right now she's resting. So let's just say for like a month or two, we'll not be hearing much about Cardi B. Will it be up? So yeah, hopefully she will bounce back pretty soon. Well, guys, do not forget our celebrity guest will be coming up shortly. That's if I'm not going to do that right about now, because we don't really have time. So let's just head straight into our celebrity guest who for today. I missed this part of the show so much. You know the drill. You have to call me up and tell me the name of the artist of the song I'll be playing after now. And yeah, who the person featured, title of the song, and you will just win my recharge card for tonight. So guys, let's get right into it. This person is someone I love so much. Well, maybe because of the way he came into the industry. But then, have a listen.
She said to drink, go hard me, I know if you find my glass. Deep alive boy, my Bible cover self don't tear. Now on that pillow, I dey eye on my plain trouser wear. Otutu abona muko bosibo, my own shop right. Aba my limi Balenciaga mobo don't look white. Even the pastor where they pray for us, no fee buy tie. The only source of happiness, not to drink kai kai. Forget your sorrow, but your sorrow no fee forget you. Like the pen house, but you pretend to like the shoe.
Okay, that's our song for today. Actually, I love the song to play for a very long time because I love the person and I want you guys to this one is a giveaway, like ASAP, you guys will just get the answer. And for the fact that, come on, that's more than like 20 seconds. So just call me up 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. Who did the song I just played? What is the title of the song? And you would just go home with my recharge card. The number once again is 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. Should I play the song one more time for us? I really want this card to just go. And we don't have time. That's why I'm playing it for the second time. But then I have my first caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Nozioma.
Yeah, good evening, MJ.
How are you?
I'm okay.
All right, go ahead. Who did this song? I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, it's Cola Boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cola Boy.
All right. What's the title of the song?
Wire.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Keep the calls coming. Who did the song I just played? Guess there's no need to play for a second time because the calls are coming already. 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. Who did the song I just played? Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Good evening. What's the name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Great Man. I'm calling from Chuba.
All right, great man. Go ahead.
Cola Boy did the song, and it's Wire.
Okay, thank you very much. Keep the calls coming, guys. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, good evening. What's the name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chukwemeka. I'm calling from Port Harcourt, Rumola, precisely.
All right, Chukwemeka, go ahead. Who did the song?
Zoro.
Okay. And what's the title of the song?
I can't get the title, but I know it's Mama.
All right, thank you very much. Hello.
Good evening.
Today FM 951. Good evening, promise.
Yeah, no, I arrived late today. Cola Boy, why?
All right, thank you very much, promise. Thank you. Okay, so let's quickly jump into one or two stories and who actually call it a wrap. Well, this one actually got to me. Not in a very bad way, though, in a good way. A Nollywood actress, Georgina, she's actually interceding on behalf of Naira Marley, and she actually posted, she said she's been hearing stuff and reading people's posts, but she never watched the video of when he was in court. And when she got to watch the video, she cried. And she really felt bad for Naira Marley, and she was pleading to EFCC they should actually, temper justice message and all of that. But what do you do? Do you guys think Naira Marley will serve time? Because he's still in prison, though. Do you think he's definitely going to serve time? Because he pleaded not guilty. Let's just see how this turns out. Now, the fact that we had lots of cameramen, police, they were just surrounding him like he committed one serious, maybe he killed, God forbid. I'm not saying he did it, guys. He killed the president of the country. And people were just sitting gone and the way they were just, come on. The overprotection was just too much. He's not going to run away. Though he was quite humble. And like this song, sit down. Be humble. Hello, good evening to the FM 951.
Yeah, good evening.
What's the name? All right, then artist, go ahead.
Yeah, Cola Boy featuring Joe Wire.
Really? Featuring who? Sorry, come again.
Cola Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Something hype. Yes, Cola Boy featuring J Wheels.
K-Wiz.
Wire. J Wheels.
J-Wiz.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Donatus. Wow. So what do you guys think about what they did to collab? I said collab. Oh my God, Naira Mali. Do you think the rule of protection was too much for him? Like, I really felt for him though. And the parents were just somewhere, I watched a video where the dad was crying. I was like, you push the parents just forgive him. And people were, I don't know, it's hurting to see your son go through all of this. But do you think Naira Mali will be, charged guilty at the end or pleaded guilty at the end of the day, or it's just one of those stunts? Like, people were comparing what's happening recently and his video boy, how they later released him. Well, I think if this were to be a stunt, they wouldn't have gone as far as going to courts. I don't know. This is just me saying. So guys, I'm not really sure if it's a stunt because of his video that just dropped. Well, this should be our last story for today. Jessica Alba, she said she started to do this, what's it called, dieting, because very funny. She doesn't want to look attractive to men. She doesn't want to have the hips, the places that make a woman to be endowed and all of that. And she doesn't want men to be coming after her, and that is why she don't want to attract men. So she doesn't want curves, and she has been dieting. Jessica Alba, when are you dieting on us? We love you. Like, she is beautiful to get, but she dieting, she will just look thinner than she is. But whichever way, there is this thing with men, whether you have it, everything or not, they just love you, they love you. And I love her just the way she is. So I think going through all this stress not to attract men, whatever you do, we'll love you for your movies, we'll love you for everything, we'll still love you, male or female. It still doesn't matter. Jessica Alba, come on. Would you do that? Because, man, you don't want to seduce men. So you just start dieting so nobody will hit on you and all of that. Ha! Such diets. If I'm dieting to remove fat in some sensitive areas that I wouldn't want to be there, it's different. Not your entire body. But it is not the same thing for a Hollywood actress, Ella Tani. Now, Ella own is quite funny, yeah? She collapsed. I'm not laughing because I'm evil. She collapsed due to a tight dress she wore for a premiere. Like, who does that? The dress was so tight. I know there is this thing we ladies, we wear Guido, you just suck your tummy and all of those stuff. Tummy talk. You know it, yeah? But hers was like, the dress was pretty tight. Ladies, when we have big tummy, very big tummy, we wear all the stuff so it's to suck our tummy in, so it won't come up when we're wearing our bodycon dresses or gown. But her own is different, yeah, because the dresses, as from her waistline, it's flay. And it doesn't look elastic from what we saw in the picture. It's not elastic. So it was too tight. And she was tiny. She couldn't even breathe. And the next thing, she was on the ground. There's this thing when you wear shoes and the shoe is paining you just be enduring. From the house, you won't really feel the pain that much. But the shoe pains, it hurts. And for 2 or 3 hours when you're out, you're catching fun, your leg will be killing you. I think that was the situation, yeah. She was rocking the dress. It fits perfectly. It was fine. But when she got to the red carpet, oh my Lord Jesus. It just happened, and she slumped. But I think Trace to say Nigerian girls will never slump from tight clothes. But I think it's true. The rate at which we package in this country, I'm not sure we'll slum one day. Well, guys, enough about me, goofing around and just catching fun and talking to you guys for gossiping. This is mature gossip, That's a fun we can go in entertainment recap, but I cannot leave without calling my winners for today's show. So congratulations. The first person that got it correctly was Ozioma. That was Cola Boy with Wire. So congratulations to you, Ozioma. Do well to text the number to 0701-9339-962. That's 0701-9339-962. If you don't get your recharge card today, you'll get it tomorrow. Of course, the text message portal is down, so I won't be able to see your message, but then still drop drop it. So when I come tomorrow, I'll just pick up the number and then send you your recharge card. Well, guys, also do well to check me out on all of my social media handles. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at Majesty Samson. Follow me and I'll follow you right back. We can continue the gossip there. And I might just give, more recharge card on my social media handles. Here is a song for today called The Boy Wire. I don't know. I just love him because he sounds like Zero. So enjoy it.
Life boy, my Bible cover self don't tear. Now on that pillow I dey eye on my plain trouser wear. Otutu abona mugo possible my own shop price. Aba my Lily Balenciaga mobo don't look white. Even the pastor where they pray for us no fee buy tie. The only source of happiness not to drink kai kai. Forget your sorrow, but your sorrow no fee forget you. Like the penance, but you pretend to like the shoe. Money your mapun after the rain, up one won't gacha. I had to pursue my dream, that's why I can't. So wish me well.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
It's been a wonderful day. We're 3 minutes past the hour of 7. It is the 22nd day of the month of May 2019. And as usual, it's a privilege to be here. It's time for Area Talk. It's time for you to give your voice on things happening in your community. It's your show, it's your program. So you call in and give us eyewitness reports on what's happening. That's what we do here on Area Talk. It's an eyewitness report show. You call in, you give your eyewitness reports, you bring the news to us, you share your stories, you share reality of things in your community. If you don't feel the presence of government in your community, you could also call in and share with us here on the program. My name is Buchira Fwa. I'll be your host for the evening, and I'll be doing this till the hour of 8, and then we go for the news updates rather by 8 o'clock. So let's talk. As of yesterday, I don't know, I believe the ban on keke, I would love to get your thoughts and your experiences, because as of yesterday it was something else for me. You know, there are some particular places that it's like your saving grace is just getting a keke, moving you down to your place or wherever your abode is. But then with the ban of keke, it's really, really difficult for some persons moving over to their places. Let's say places like Mercyland, you are heading from Mercyland to NTA Junction, or you're from Alakahia Junction here heading to Car Wash, and some strategic places like that is only keke that is just available for you to move. It's really inconveniencing, but well, we believe it's all for the greater good. I'd love to hear your experience, because mine yesterday was something else. I was almost weeping, as in I've never been freaked out like that in my life. I stayed for almost an hour before I was able to get a cab to move me to wherever it was I was going to, and it was really, really sad. If you've experienced something like that, I would love to know where exactly the junction, the place, and how long it took for you to get a cab or something to move you down to your destination, wherever it is. I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, it's Area Talk. You have to call in and share your eyewitness reports with us on what's happening in your community. I made mention of Location Junction as at yesterday, and I asked what exactly is the problem. I still did the same thing today because it feels like that place is getting worse and worse by the day. It worsens by the day. So I asked some few persons around there why exactly the traffic is, why it keeps building up and it's like it's not moving. Meanwhile, we have traffic wardens there, and it's like there's nobody there. Everybody are just moving on their own. And some persons suggested there should be something like a flyover around there. Even if it affects some houses around, that's the only way the traffic will get decongested in that area. It's suggested the place is too small. Some are still blaming it on the flood and the drainage system there and so many other things. But I really don't know what exactly is the problem with Location Junction. Why the traffic every single day? You cannot tell someone, I'll meet you in the next 10 minutes when you're going through NTA Road. You just tell the person in the next 1 hour, so the person doesn't get disappointed. It's happened to me many times, so I still don't know where exactly the fault is coming from. Area Talk, let's hear from you. It's 0817-0000951 or 0810-951-0951. And then you can send a text message or a WhatsApp message to the number 0701-933-9962. I'll take that one again, 0701-933-9962. So in Edo State, over the weekend, there was a cult war that took place there, and it actually claimed the lives of 4 persons in Edo State. So according to the reports by this day, the cult-related crisis had claimed the lives of 4 persons at Afokbela in Esako East local government area of Edo State. So information from the area indicated that the latest crisis was as a result of a reprisal which led to the burning down and destruction of 10 buildings in the area. A resident of the community, Mr. Ahmed Seidu, said that the killing was as a result of misunderstanding between members of rival cult groups in the community. So the crisis escalated when one of the leaders of the cult group was shot dead, thereby causing a show of force by the rival groups. Since Monday, someone said, we have been living in fear, hoping that the situation will be brought under control by the security agencies, Seidu lamented. So the chairman of the council, Mr. Aremi Yao Momo, who visited the community, said 10 buildings had been razed down. Momo said the council had imposed curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the community until the situation was brought under control. Now, it's one thing for there to be a cult clash or a cult war. It's another thing for you to take lives. Like the cults, they are fighting themselves and killing themselves. But it's another thing for houses to be burnt and razed down. 10 good houses were razed down because of this cult clash. Does that make sense? Well, the chairman of the council said, and I quote, "The cult crisis have led to killing of 4 persons and destruction of 10 buildings in the community. The police have commenced investigation, and very soon those who are found wanting will be brought to book." So the community is now devoid of its usual busy commercial activities as residents have gone into hiding for fear of attack while the police are on ground doing their investigation. As the chairman of the council, I have imposed curfew between 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the community, and anyone found wanting at this hour would be arrested and handed over to the security agencies. So when contacted the Edo State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Chidi Nwabuzo on the matter, he said that the command was not aware of the situation. I quote, "We don't have the report in our command. I will have to get across to the Divisional Police Officer DPO of Okbele on this development." So he said, like I said earlier, cult clashes one thing, killing and taking lives like they do is another thing. Raising down buildings for cult clash means you're still others, innocent persons, their properties worth whatever amount it's been worth is also affected. Well, the south. Meanwhile, talking about the south, as yesterday I gave you this report of a part of Niger Delta, the militants saying they would declare Niger Delta a republic as at June 1st, right? Okay, I'll get that one to clarify the dates. So many persons reacted to it, and my question is, Biafra has been here for, well, they've been struggling for the Republic of Biafra for how many years, God knows how, and then these guys are just out here to just declare it a republic. How possible is that one? Well, like I said, I'd love to hear from you. What's happening in your community? And please, if you've experienced this issue with keke, like you're stranded because of those strategic points that keke usually take you from one place to the other, heading back home, please, I'd love to hear from you. There's also this place around Rumukuta, Okultin. Yeah, that's another point where your only saving grace will be keke from Okultin Junction along that Rumukuta road, from Okultin to down inside the estate and the rest of it. So I wonder how you guys cope there. 95.1 FM, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
Thank you. This is Amadi from Romadumaya.
Amadi, you're welcome. How are you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm good. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
I want to tell you the experience I got. That was a week ago about Keke and police.
Where was that? Where did it happen?
At Romadumaya by First and Summer, Akwaka Road.
Okay.
I'm staying at Rumoko area. Then I bought a taxi to First and Summer while I was heading to Akwaka Junction. Okay. I bought a keke. That was the first day this people started this enforcement, which I'm not even aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to a point. The keke man was driving, and he was carrying a family of 3 at the back, children, father and mother at the back, while I'm the one sitting at the front.
Okay.
So we got to a point. We saw a vehicle that was trying to double cross us. The keke driver now tried to maneuver and pass the vehicle. And I saw a policeman just came down from the taxi. Was telling the keke stop there. The keke was trying to zoom off, and what he did was to shoot on air.
Oh my God!
He shot on air twice, and everybody was scared. I myself, I thank God. When after that incident, I said, "Glory be to God that I was not hurt." Supposing the man shot at the keke without shooting on the air, maybe somebody might have lose his life or her life. So, what police are doing at Apaka Road is very, very bad. What they do now is that whenever they hold one keke, they will collect 3,000 or 4,000 and they will release the keke.
Wow, 3,000 there.
Yes, they are
so
normally.
So outside the fact that police are there and you are alleging that they're doing a lot of things there, how do you guys now manage? Because it's clear that most keke drivers will not be able to afford that, so they'll rather stay at home. And on the other hand, they are supposed to just follow the rules and regulations and follow the law. Stay at home once it's 7, don't come out. But I would love to know how you guys manage it. If there's a taxi that usually comes out at night or something.
My sister, you see, these keke drivers, most of them, some of them are very, very stubborn people. They are very stubborn. Even as I'm talking to you now, if you come out, you will still see them trying to maneuver. But the good thing of it is that size doesn't apply on that road before, but now they have started applying on that road since they said the keke should stop by 7. So Taizi has started applying at that Akwaka Junction by First and Summer. They normally park by the side there to pick passengers. And what they do now, where keke normally collect 150 naira, then they will charge 100 naira.
Oh, so the increase in T-fare also happened there too?
Yes, that's what they do.
Okay. All right. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for sharing with us. I really appreciate you calling in. I would also love to hear from others if your own community or your area, if TFA has been increased because of the ban, the curfew on keke drivers. I would love to hear from you. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Buchi.
Ogaloki, good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Buchi, I want to comment on the demonstration by Keke riders in my place yesterday.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to also comment the Minokoro Police Division headquarters that came to stop the demonstration. If not, it would have gone violent. At least started the demonstration in a violent way. So violent that stores were shut down even up to 2 hours.
Are you
because
serious?
people don't really understand what was going on, in the sense that the demonstration was not orchestrated by the union. It was just very few of them that started the demonstration, and all they did was, in order to get the number of the people that they need for the demonstration, they were beating up any keke driver at all. Once you're a keke person, they will beat you, and so people were so scared. Everybody was running before eventually the Minokoro Police Division headquarters now came to. They started shooting at the air, but no arrest was made because they were just trying to calm the situation down. With that, all is well. Nothing then happened at last. So I really commend that police division acting for them to act in a professional way. Because the way we saw the thing was coming up, we thought something else.
So what was their protest based on?
Their protest was based on to say that since they asked them to stop by 7, that the people that do sell tickets, then that they usually buy the ticket 600 naira. That it should be cut down to 300 naira.
Okay, since they're not doing full day job.
Yes, since they are not doing full day job.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Keke chairman himself said that since they have not brought this have not come to his notice, so they shouldn't have just started doing demonstration, and also their union chairman said this is not also on his notice. He would have also handled.
So they just went ahead to do it on their own.
Yeah, they just went ahead to do it on their own. So that's just the problem. So thank you, Buchi.
All right, thank you very much. But Ogaloki, before you leave, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Has there been any increase in TFA?
In my place, price is still 50 naira.
Okay.
No increase for now.
Okay, you say for now. All right, thank you so much, Ogaloki, for calling in.
Yeah.
All right, that was Ogaloki reporting from his community, and he just said they went on a protest yesterday, keke drivers. They needed a slash in the amount of tickets, how much they purchase tickets, since they're not doing full day's job. I don't know if they've been doing full day job before now, but that's what their protest was based on, without consulting their council chairman and those in the admin positions in their group or meeting. But moving on, there's this reports. Well, the River State Executive Council has been dissolved. So the news agency of Nigeria reports. Governor Nyesom Wike announced the dissolution of the State Executive Council as at today during the valedictory session of the Executive Council. So Wike said he would continue to promote Rivers first at all times, adding that the interest of the state was ahead of all other considerations. He thanked members of the former council for their contributions to the development of the state. He said, and I quote, "It has been a rewarding experience, and I'm quite impressed that I worked with these persons of capacity. All the achievements we recorded were made possible because you worked." The governor said that some of the members of the dissolved Executive Council would make it back to the new Executive Council. The Deputy Governor, Ipalibo Hari Banigo, also commended the governor for providing purposeful leadership that helped to transform the state. She assured the governor of her unflinching support, adding that she would always work for the success of his administration. So you got that the Executive Council has been dissolved here in Rivers State by the governor. And there's also this report that FG, the federal government, is to stop the ownership of gas cylinders by consumers. So the federal government is coming up with this policy. It's a policy that will remove the ownership of liquefied petroleum gas, that's cooking gas cylinders, from consumers. So it stated that the move would help deepen the use of LPG, popularly known as cooking gas, adding that the government had reached an agreement with two original cylinder manufacturers to deliver 600,000 cylinders to LPG distributors on credit with a prepayment period of 8 months. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Hello. Buchi, good evening.
Iwa Brahma, good evening.
Yes. Buchi, what of my brother called yesterday?
Yes, he did, and he confirmed to us that you don't even stay at Rumodogo. You stay around Rumuji.
Yeah, not that I'm in the Rumodogo, but I am going my community every blessed day. Every blessed day. So I don't know what they are saying. They are not in community for that. I don't know what is happening in community.
No, nobody's saying you don't know what is happening in the community.
So what I am saying now about the school. Okay. You know, after that, some people will begin call. So you are supposed to inform them before I talk about the teachers. Teachers are not in the school, and we are trying to make sure that they will come, even on 2 people or 3 people. Even in that primary school, I don't know if the stranger don't want to go to our community, whether the local government or the government itself, they will help us. All these retired teachers will put for that our community. Then they let them start the school because many strangers fear to enter that our community. Let them call the retired ones. We'll see them for that community so that they will start the school. So that they will go there and teach the children first before the people who employ there will come back. I don't know whether that one go help us. Because we got many of them waited there. I know when the crisis will come, one of our brother, that time, he's teaching almost the whole class, the whole school that one of them run fish. It's only that man before their retirement. So I don't know whether government will help us to make sure the school will stand. Let them help us. No harm way when they will start the school there because no one is to teach them for that school. So on the project of this our road, I don't know. Our road, I still talk about our road. Let them come and help us in our road so that we get a place because many people want to want these teachers because they have no road. When is rain fall? To reach the community, no problem. All these follow they worry them. Let them come and walk this road. That's the end of this road. That one day. Let them come and remember us. And that the government, this weekend. This is second day now. Let them not leave that our road. That our road will be the first road one that approved now. That our road because during the road, I want the road, all the other workers. I make you come on board. I make you want the road, they don't work out. Let him prove that he's a original son of this river state. This is equal. Let him come and do something for this our road. I want to urge him to help us. Also the last issue. Buchi?
Yeah, I'm listening.
I don't know how we go do for this world.
That's Rumuji light.
Light. This light, what people they take the road. Government, they don't want to do them. Government don't want to do. I don't know. I don't know where we are running to. I don't know. They will go for election. Say, vote for me. This and this, this and this. That day of a campaign, they don't allow me to talk. They don't allow me to talk. Maybe I talk to the government, the chairman, the local government, or the representatives. I don't know. They don't really have to talk. So I am calling the chairman of local government. That chairman said that 2 weeks, they must do the light. What is now? I am not doing light. Now light is in the area. This is somebody like that working it. Why not the nigga money on the bed? I don't know why the man just leave the light the way when he promised us that before 2 weeks, light will come. I don't know the plan. I don't know. I don't hear him again. Let him do something now. I'm not going to hear him. But you know what the man they do. We are angry. Let them go and do something. Let him come out. Let him know him what they got alone. Let him go and do the right. I can't get over all the ones that let them have it. It's the water of business right. Water will not have. Another water will. That's the way I had to give them. Government nobody give us the water. So all these things, let them come and help us. We are angry. So let them come. Thank you.
Okay, Iwa Burma, thank you very much. Iwa Burma says they are angry and they need government's attention. 95.1 FM, good evening. Hello?
That's all right.
Yes, it is. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Jack. I'm calling from Potential.
All right, Jack. Good to hear from you today.
Yeah. The case of Sada George, location judge is becoming something else.
Are you there currently?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How long have you been there?
I have spent more than 30 minutes there now. Nothing actually going on. The simple problem there is just a big borehole, a big pothole that is there.
So is the pothole the fault, or like some other person suggested the road is too small?
Not really. That place should be okay for motorable now for 2 vehicles to pass. But there's a pothole there. They can't cover some part of the road. Water cover the rest side of it. And the whole thing just jump out there. So the moment they pass this side coming from NCA side, you see one vehicle passing. You cannot just flow as the road is as big as the road. So the solution is that they should come there and finally cover that pothole there. Even if there is that water there, since they can't get into the water, I don't know. But I believe there's a solution. They should go there and clear that and cover that pothole.
So you think it's just the pothole? The problem with that road is the pothole?
It's just the pothole, front and back. The both sides of the road have that pothole. People coming from Ada George suffer the same thing. People coming from NCA suffer the same. So they should help for Abe.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I hope you leave that traffic anytime soon. As much as I doubt, but I hope you leave that traffic soon. It's really terrible when you're in that traffic. But he feels the pothole around there is the cause, while some others feel the road is too small. What do you think about Location Junction and the traffic there? 95.1 FM, good evening.
Yeah, it was a good evening.
Good evening.
Trumpets from it. How is work today?
Fine, how your side?
My sister, my side, we thank God for today. Since you are alive, we thank God.
Okay.
Yes. My area report goes on our road on the Fapok Umwe Eje.
All right.
I just want to let our able governor to know that in these 4 years that passed, this road is the only road that the whole Eje local government has benefited from this government for complete 4 good years, in which he has not finished. I want to draw his notice that it should be nice. Since you couldn't complete the road for past 4 good years, it would be nice for this extra 4 good years. Let him help us and complete the road. Since this is the only road that the whole Eche, that is the only project that was given to Eche. At least let him make it to the end. At least so that we can be so powerful to him. My sister, talking about hospital, I have told you several times, my sister, that the whole Umoye or the Fapok, we don't have a hospital. Especially Umoye. We go to Imo State when our wife are pregnant to take them to Imo State Hospital. Or we have to, if someone to go to Imo State, we have to enter Okada to carry them down to Port Harcourt. And you know how it is for a pregnant woman to enter Okada from Umoye to Port Harcourt. You see how you know how bad it is. So I beg of him, he should try and give us see how we can do and make hospitals to reach our community where it is. About light, I'm not talking about light. I know that the light will be maybe whenever any HO man become a governor, we can talk about light. But this road, he should help us and do this road so that we can hold this one at hand. We are suffering for the road. Now that the rest has started, there is no way we can pass. We cannot pass anymore. Sometimes we come from Imo State to Port Harcourt. Sometimes we suffer from the road a lot. So I pray that he should put us on this second tunnel project. He should put us on this so that we can be able to benefit from the part of his project. Thank you, Trumpet from the chair.
All right, Trumpets, thank you very much for your contribution and for calling in. I don't know if you've heard of the story of the reports that reps had adopted a bill banning the use of plastic bags, and the fine will be 500,000 naira. So according to these reports by the channels, the lawmakers, as at on Tuesday, they passed the bill, that's Plastic Bag Prohibition Bill 2018, with the hope that it will address the issue of relieving pressure on landfills and protect the environment. So the bill enacted by the National Assembly states that a retailer shall offer a paper bag to the customer at a point of sale, and failure to do so, such retailer is guilty of an offense. It also added that a manufacturer of plastic bags for the purpose of selling, whether as a carry-out bag, is guilty of an offense. According to the bill, any person found guilty shall be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 500,000 naira, or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment. So it also prescribed a fine of 5 million naira to companies guilty of the offenses. So that's the bill. Plastic bags are well, there are many parts of the world that they actually don't make use of plastic bags. They're actually making use of paper bags. And to a large extent, if you look at it, these plastic bags, they are like that forever. And like we all know, and as we get to see in our environment, it's something that litters. If it falls into our drainages, and let's imagine most of our drainages now are blocked. If you want to check out what is actually blocking those things, they are plastic bags, nylons, and the rest of it. But if we start making use of this paper bags, it's something that will just melt off. And well, that's just a thought from my corner. I would love to hear what you think about that bill that is being passed and how effective it will be. And well, in Nigeria, do you think that would actually work? One way, there's some persons that actually earn their living from producing these bags, and switching might not be so easy. So I don't know if there's anything that will be put in place for them. But don't forget, there are fines for it, and the fine is 500,000 naira, or imprisonment, or both such fine and imprisonment as well. So what do you think about this bill being passed? 95.1 FM, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, welcome.
My name is Buki, calling from Igwe.
All right, welcome to the program.
Buki, in this country, we have many resources to survive, but we don't have the knowledge, because those waterproof bags and those cans, I wish they would open something that people will gather it and go and sell. They will use it to produce another thing.
Okay, instead of just banning it like that, if you have it, let's go and give it or sell it out to this particular company. They'll pay you for it, like a way of compensating people.
Many people now will take it as a handwork. You see many parents, many people will be going around picking it, and our environment will be very neat.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That will be very good.
So
instead of just passing that bill, probably they should include for a particular point in time, maybe for a year, you can actually take whatever you've produced, or if you have all these plastic bags in possession, you can take it to this company to be used, to be refined to something else, and you will be compensated.
Yes.
But don't you think some people will still go ahead to produce this thing at a probably cheaper? Well, you know how we can be at times. They'll still keep producing it, so they'll go and sell to that company.
Yes. So our government should look into it instead of putting that kind of law or this. So they look into it. It will bring many money to this country. Because if you watch this country, every use that waterproof and cans. So the thing is bring very, very good money. So I love that idea. If they can produce something, to get something that will make use of it. I would like it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Now, so many of us will say, well, we don't know the kind of business to do. If a bill like this is being passed, don't you think it's business for some other persons, even if it's not government? He suggested that government should attach that to this. Instead of just placing a ban on it completely, they probably should build a company that would receive these things from people, give them a certain amount of money, in a way compensating them so they don't lose completely, especially those that use this as their business and have it in bulk. How about it's actually a business opportunity for other individuals, if you know what I'm saying. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
Yeah, I support the last caller. Let there be recycling.
Okay.
Because if you know what approved, remember, not everybody can have access to bottled water. Bottled water is plastic. You see, water is life.
Okay, pure water.
Yeah, I'm telling you that sometimes where this pure water can help you, because the absence of water in our life, you know what it will result to.
So you are saying it from the pure water perspective now.
I'm telling you, because that thing is passing well.
So what if they bring an alternative? Okay, well, still be with the bottle.
The paper that should be bottled.
It still will be bottled.
If you want to use like Coke, a bottle, that will be more harm. I mean, when you break, it will scatter. So that plastic, they should use for you to recycle it, that you can still move along. Only that you are not careful, the government can do the needful, like other places. Put receptacles, where you can drop your water paper so that they can come and carry it, and then or do it as a business to some people. I'll support the last caller. Then also on the area of this my brother who is to be burning credit work from I want to ask about the GM. There are two major companies in the energy, Greenville and Total. What the money do they enter with that company that they themselves have light? This one is a gas company that they will also be consuming gas and they are also burning gas. Can't they give energy light? Because energy is a small town and these two major companies are there. God, this is a kind for light. Why you have these two major companies that are there, themselves are not in darkness, they have light there. They even have extra generator, big ones that they have not used. Can't they give them all things that they said they are right of light for money or for other things? Not everything government will do. When company is there in your community, you should be part of the company. Not every time like this. So then on the area report of what I hear today that meat, there are some meat that should not be bought in the market. They use what they preserve dead bodies to preserve them. And the Butcher Association coming out that we should not buy the meat. Buchi, what I want to say is this. It's not every village woman that have access to radio or can hear us when we are talking like this. Let them, when it things like this come out, let them put microphone and go around the villages or give money to village chiefs to proclaim to the tanker that it's a speculation, they should not buy. Those are the victims. And then, like I said that time, that human beings are wicked. Some people, I don't know that they have the fear of God. How can they put something they use in preserving dead body to go and preserve meat? Why? So I want to say that we should try and make sure that the news go around properly so that people should not die. And then also to the area of security. Security should be handled in the way that it leads to the grassroots because things have changed. Times have changed. Police do not know the forest in each villages. This is where these people are using to already their crime. Let them employ the youth. If they can employ 5 or 10 youth in each community, and then they should work with the police. And then, like Governor said, any village chief or a clan leader or highnesses or royal emperors, whatever be their title, that their domain is full of crime, they should hold them accountable. Like I said yesterday, their own is for life. As long as they live, they are not dethroned, they cannot remove. But government is only for 3 years. So we make them accountable. Accountable in the sense that we should also involve them in this security vote money. When they send security vote from Abuja to governor send to local government chairman. Local government chairman should also they have with them. Even if it's 10,000 things for them to buy the card so that they can be committed and tell them that anything happens in your community, in your area, in your domain, you will find kidnappers who kidnap people and use your bush. You that govern that territory, it's you who go and they will sit up and they know who and who. I'm telling you, because that one of the boys I saw yesterday told me that they are ready to walk, to go to even those boys are under the river. And they want logistics from the local government chairman. So can say, okay, every month come and collect 10,000 or 20,000, whatever means. Then so this thing can completely go out because they have no place to stay. So our bushes and our farms, our women can go to farm easily. Our women can also do things easily, than fearing because they are always everywhere in the bush. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Meanwhile, just in case you missed that story, the National Butchers Union of Nigeria are warning the general public to be very careful on the kind of meat they purchase in the markets, eateries, and from meat-selling outlets in Rivers State. So the Rivers State chairman of the union, Alhaji Musa Ahmed, he gave the advice in an interview with one of our correspondents, Alfreda Alerici. And Baba Ahmed, while disassociating its members from the sale of chemically preserved meat, he stressed that whatever illness that comes in the state as a result of the meat consumption is not from any of their slaughters. I'd love you to take a listen to what he had to say.
The meat that is containing that chemical, the chemical is formalin, which they use in mortuary, washing all these dead bodies. So those who are using that is those butchers that bring meat. You see all these big companies where they supply meat to auction, they do come to our slaughter and other slaughters to buy meat to feed all these fast food and the rest of them. But now they are not coming. Why? Because they do get any kind of meat very cheap. Our fear, if there is any disease, an epidemic, they say, is butchers, while our hands is clean. If you see meat is very, very cheap, fly no the near them, avoid that meat. And make sure there are certain butchers who have been there for years, do business with them.
Okay, if you see a meat and no flies around the meat and it's looking very neat, please avoid a meat like that. So he said. So on the part of the River State chairman, the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Fidel Ezem, he condemned the use of formalin chemical used for meat preservation, adding that such chemicals are cancerous, capable of damaging the liver, lungs, and other vital parts of the body. So a few days ago, the Ministry of Agriculture in Rivers State set up a committee to rid the market of meat preserved with formalin, which is a chemical used by morticians to preserve dead bodies. Well, that's one side of it. But on the other side of it, why would someone in their normal senses use this chemical to preserve meats and someone else would consume a meat like that? It's like giving them dead body to eat. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Mr. Zion, calling
Mr.
from Port Harcourt.
Mr. Zion, good evening. Why was I expecting you to call in?
Because they are touching issues.
Okay.
And maybe these are the likes of Mr. Zion that can go nitty-gritty in telling the truth.
Well, so many of us tell the truth. But go ahead. Let's hear what your truth is. Okay, your likes. Yeah.
Likes, yes.
Okay, let's hear your truth.
Because I always tell people this. Mr. Zion will always tell you the truth. If I die today, over 50,000 or even 50 million Zion will stand up. They will keep telling the truth.
All right, Mr. Zion, let's hear your truth.
We are the sons and daughters of Shiko Kikabiama, and we are not afraid of the darkness. See, you are asking how could people do that? This is Nigeria. This country is a fraudulent country where nobody is nobody. I am still telling you, until the day we have Nigerians, all this nonsense will stop. You only see an Ijaw man living in Nigeria, Yoruba man living in Nigeria, Ikwere man living in Nigeria, Igbo man living in Nigeria. Who is a Nigerian? How could a normal human being who goes to church, pays tithe, have wives and children, use formalin to preserve meat for his fellow human beings to eat? See, blood money is not only Otokoto. Ritualists is only Otokoto. We have a lot of Otokotos living along our streets.
So what's Otokotos?
Oh, you don't know what Otokotos?
No, I don't. You're laughing. I don't know now. Clarify me, sir. I don't know exactly what you're saying.
The next caller should answer you.
You're the one giving what?
You should know the Otokotos.
Okay, whatever it means.
The name is even very funny.
I mean, that's actually my first time of hearing a statement like that one.
My goodness.
But go ahead.
There are too many wicked people in our environment.
Okay.
Too many wicked people. Now, the excuse from the Ministry of Agriculture alone is even laughable. You have only 3 veterinarian doctors in the whole of River State. And you know too well that the people consuming meat in this state is 100%. But if it is to go and send woodlum to come and collect tax in the name of tax, you will send 100 to come and collect tax from me. But to protect my interests, you will send only 3. Are you imagining what I am saying?
I'm listening to what you're saying.
If it was send woodlums in the name of Obiako to come and impound my car, impound my goods, collect your revenue, you will send them in their 100s. But to protect my interests, my health, you only send 3 and missed millions or thousands existing in the state. What a shame. You also mentioned a vital issue about how they will stop cooking gas cylinder. Nigerians are not even aware. Are you saying it now? They are not even discussed about that. It's not important. To tell you that Nigerians are not, they don't even know their economy. But if it is
Mr. So if you haven't heard about it, doesn't mean many others haven't.
No, I have heard it. I have read it, and I know the implications, which is negative.
Okay.
The Nigerian government is not thinking good. President Muhammadu Buhari administration is not thinking good.
All right,
Why
Mr. Zion, it's almost because it's 5
because
minutes.
I have mentioned a name, Shay. You are now quoting me. Okay.
Mr. Zion, thank you very much. You spent 5 minutes here. Others spend less than 4 minutes. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Jude from Oyibo.
Good to have you on the program. Go ahead.
You see this
chemical you are talking about. These are strategies. I've said it before. These are strategies of reducing the population of the southern Nigeria. Northerners are using it to wash meat. So
Where is this one coming from?
And develop cancer. So that all of us listen.
Where is this one coming from?
Obasanjo has said it, that they are there to fulanize his mind. That is what they are doing. That's exactly what is happening. Even the insecurity that we're experiencing here in River State, they sent all the security men to come here and secure pipelines, secure oil facilities, not to secure human beings. So even if we clean ourselves, security men don't care. The job is to secure pipelines, secure all these oil facilities.
Are you there? Okay, I think we lost you there. Good evening. Hello? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. Is that Chima? Something must kill a man.
Yes, my sister. How are you doing now?
I'm good. I'm fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, the Lord is my mother, my sister.
As always. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, let me just talk on the one I saw and followed up today.
Where?
Concerning the River State government dissolving the cabinet.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I put them up today. All of the commissioners, and all of them, they spoke. And the governor has decided today getting prepared for his second tenure. Well, it's a welcome development.
Okay.
Yeah, and another one is this. I can't actually tell you what is happening in my community for now.
Iba.
Because, I'm a local government. You know, sometime after they shot my cousin brother, my sister, I don't know how these brothers and my sister, they are feeling this time. So one needs to play safe a bit.
You said he wasn't. You said the last time you called in regards that your brother that was shot. You said he couldn't talk as at then to give details of what happened. Has he been able to share? Hello, something must kill a man.
Can you hear me? I'm yelling.
Okay, I just started hearing you again. Go ahead.
Yes. He said,
Something must kill a man. I'm not hearing anything you're saying, no. Please, can you call us back? Thank you very much. You need to call us back. I couldn't pick a thing you were trying to say there. 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
I saw back to try and regulate it for some of your callers about this issue of Northern are doing this to kill South.
What's your report?
My report is about this killing going on in Ogboni. We are only playing blame games about it, but
you need to speak up. You need to speak up. I'm not getting what you're saying. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you. I don't know if it's the network or something else, but I didn't get what you were saying. It was really low. I was straining my ears to hear you. But you can call back and let's hear what your thoughts and your contribution is on the program. It's still 081700000951 or 0810951091. You could as well send a text message or a WhatsApp message to the number 0701-933-9962. This person says, Wuchi, a notorious kidnapper, armed robber and cultist from Ndeli was arrested by the police last week and he ran away from them yesterday. What a shame. That's coming from Alex from Ndeli. Wow. This one says, good evening. Okay, this is not for us. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Hello, good evening, my sister.
Good evening.
I am to from Melbourne at the moment.
All right, Oti, go ahead.
Yeah, so long time. Happy with you.
Okay.
My brother was talking and the line went off.
The one that just called him.
Yeah, that's my brother. That's my community guy, my brother.
Okay. So you're calling from Elibrada too?
Yes, I'm at my community now.
Okay.
You can get some children playing outside.
So normalcy has been restored there.
Yeah, normalcy has been restored. People are doing their normal duty. But one thing I would report is that our solar is going down day by day.
Okay.
I reported this sometime. Our solar light is going down day by day. I reported from our junction, the one that was installed from our junction, all has gone off. So I'm appealing to NDDC. They did this very good thing to us, and they should try and come and see and make necessary steps to restore this solar. It's helping us truly. Even without NEPA, without DDC, we are surviving. So yes, I thank them for that, and they should try and come and restore. Another thing is that sometime I called you about that solar at the local government headquarters frontage here. Are you correct with?
Yeah, and it was fixed.
A very terrible accident happened on Sunday, yeah? No, Monday, yeah. Monday morning. I think the vehicle is still lying there. That's one trailer, one long vehicle there, still lying there.
But the portal has been covered now. Is it not the one before the council?
Negative is it cannot be covered. It's still there. Yesterday I passed there, and after that heavy downpour, I passed there. It's still there. Is
it the same portal we're talking about, or we're talking about two different things? Because I know the one before Emoa Council.
Yes.
I saw pictures of it being covered, and people also called in here to report that it's been worked on.
No, the people that worked, it's just about 2 persons. A kind of voluntary work. It was not perfectly covered. It has opened up again. I am telling you this. I passed there yesterday.
So that's the cause of the accident?
Yes. That's the cause of the accident. And no life was lost, but I recorded a lot of injuries here because people were standing by the junction here. Understand? So that is it. And secondly, the governor handed over, and the commission handed over their account of stewardship, their papers today, their funds, and their handover notes. They handed it over to the governor today, and they were resolved today. I am surprised. I don't know what they handed over to the governor. I don't know, because I don't see the position for agriculture as I'm talking to you now. That ministry is not working. Education, nothing. So I don't know what they handed over to the governor. Governor should look at the paper they handed over to him and study or the pan check and give report to us so that we will collect them and call the governor, give him a better score or a poor score, any of them. So thank you very much.
So you're saying the executive council, they've not done much. Is that what you're trying to say?
At all, they are not doing anything. That council is nothing. I don't think that we have chairman there or councillors there. I don't know what is happening there.
Okay, all right, thank you.
No.
Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, Buji. Yeah, something.
Okay, thanks for calling back. Go ahead, please. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I said it's like my brother heard me. I saw from my brother who
he just called in. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I said since my cousin brother was shot, it's like 2 weeks now. I have not been to my community, so I don't know what is happening. I don't have any area talk from my community, but I know is that there is no light. And I overheard him saying about solar.
The solar.
That solar light, yes. Since they installed that solar light, right from the first time they installed that solar light, if you come to Lebrada, right from East West Road, when you look into a Lebrada Road, you will see that place look like a shell premises. But it's unfortunately that those who installed the solar right from the junction buried the battery right inside the ground. So just a few times, the one in the junction started dying, and the one inside the community gradually is going down one. for 2 weeks now, I've not been to the community. But all I'm saying from what he said, that of the solar need the attention. The solar was mounted by NDDC. Please, those of them who brought the contract.
Something must kill a man. Okay, I think we lost you there. Let's quickly take some messages from the text message portal. This one says, Buchi, I said Butch. At Abaraeche, my brother's farm cattle have been destroyed. The crops, if you attack the cattle, the areas have dangerous weapons to attack you. Pastor Godi. This one says, my area report is about community secondary school, UBE schools, Osiaku, which has suffered neglect from government. This school was established in... Okay, we don't have time to take this message. I will do well to take them tomorrow. We have to go. We're out of time. It's time for the news update here on Today 95.1 FM. My name is Buchi, and it's been great hearing your contribution and your reaction to most of the things happening in our communities and around us. But please, whatever it is you are doing, do not use it to incite violence of any form. Stay peaceful, stay happy, stay thankful. There's always a hope for a better tomorrow. And of course, Nigeria will get better. We'll get there someday. We just have to put our hands, all hands needs to be on deck. We have to work together, and you have to start with yourself. Thank you very much. My name is Buchi. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
This is Today 95. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
Today 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
All right, good evening. Here's the news update at 8 on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kalada Kuru Batsubo. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has dissolved the State Executive Council. Governor Wike, during the valedictory session of the River State Executive Council, commended former members of his cabinet for their contributions to the development of the state. The governor said he will continue to promote River State first at all times, adding that the interest of the state is ahead of all other considerations. The governor also disclosed that some of the members of the dissolved Executive Council would make it back to the new Executive Council. The high point of the valedictory section of the River State Executive Council was the presentation of special congratulatory card to the governor by the former members of the council. The Cold War between the River State Governor Nyesom Wike and the Nigerian Army has continued, with the governor declaring that he contested the 2019 governorship election against the military and won. Governor Wike declared that the People's Democratic Party clearly defeated the general officer commanding the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Jamil Sam, and his Sorry about that. Commanding the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Jamil Sam, and his political party during the 2019 general election, saying that the bribery allegation by the GOC is false and a mere face-saving measure. The governor spoke during the valedictory session of the River State Executive Council. He said the GOC recently appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Army, but never made any such allegation because nothing like that took place. The governor reiterated that the GOC runs an oil bunkering scheme which cannot be swept away by what he described as flimsy allegations. The River State Governorship Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Port Harcourt has dismissed the petition of the Labour Party and its candidate Isaac Wanu against the victory of Governor Nyesom Wike. A lead judge of the tribunal, Justice G.K. Kaigama, granted the order following an application by counsel to the Labour Party Uche Olewune, who applied for the withdrawal of the petition, and that the petition of one will be struck out. Our correspondent reports that all the lawyers in the matter did not oppose the application of the Labour Party to withdraw from the tribunal. Counsel to the Labour Party, Uche Olewune, in an interview with newsmen, spoke on the decision of his clients to withdraw his petition.
My clients being the candidate of Labour Party, Chief Isaac Wong, and the party itself, having come to terms that there is need for them to have a synergy with the governor, they decided in their wisdom that at this point they want to let the petition go. And that's strictly what we have come to do this morning. And the court, in its wisdom, has graciously granted that. And the petition has been struck out. The election petition is sui generis. Unlike ordinary civil matters that if a matter is struck out, maybe you can come back and release. In election petition matter, once a matter is struck out or dismissed as the case, once it's struck out, that's the end of the matter. So we are not coming back here. That's it's a goodbye to this particular tribunal.
More stakeholders have continued to express concerns over the rising insecurity in Ogoniland. The Apex Sociocultural Organization in Ogoniland, Kagote, also condemned the recent killings in the area by suspected cultists. The spokesman of Kagote, Chief Livinus Bikel, who spoke in an interview with our correspondent, also expressed concerns over the activities of a group known as Bo Kabari, who he said went against the agreement reached at a meeting of all stakeholders of Ogoniland held in Thai local government area of the state. Bikel said the group had gone ahead to call a separate meeting of some youth leaders against the arrangement that all paramount rulers in Ogoniland should take charge in sanitizing their community of crime traditionally within 14 days.
Because after the communique was read out to people, that after 14 days, everything will be done traditionally and otherwise to ensure that that kind of thing did not happen. All of a sudden, some people who call themselves Pakabari woke up and called another meeting of the youths, and the traditional ruler said no, this was not the arrangement, and from there the thing started coming up again. So there is the tendency for me to put the blame on the Pakabari, because they violated the terms of the agreement reached at the Sakwe meeting.
The Kagote spokesman also preferred possible solutions to the recent criminal activities in Ogoniland.
First of all, the Pakabari people should be called to question, and then another meeting would be arranged where things will be put in the proper perspective. But when everybody who is who in Ogoni sit down, met, and took such a decision, it was very, very unfortunate that things like that should happen. These are people who are seeking for something for their personal need. Otherwise, why would anybody do something otherwise from what was agreed upon generally by the Ogoni ethnic nationality at that meeting?
President Muhammadu Buhari has directed ministers to continue working in their offices until Tuesday, May 28. President Buhari gave the directive at the valedictory Federal Executive Council held at the State House, Abuja. The president acknowledged that the meeting was the last of his cabinet for the 2015 to 2019 tenure, but told the ministers to keep working and prepare to hand over to the cabinet secretaries of their various ministries. The ministers are expected to submit their handover letters to the secretary to the government of the Federation on the same date. The chairman of the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, Justice Zainab Bokachua, has withdrawn from the tribunal for personal reasons. A withdrawal comes after the tribunal dismissed an application by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate in the presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, asking Justice Bokachua to recuse herself from the tribunal. The PDP and Abubakar had based the application, among other things, on the ground that Justice Bukachua is the wife of Adamu Bukachua, a prominent member of the All Progressive Congress and Senator-elect of Bauchi North Senatorial District, which is the political party involved in the suit. However, in delivering the lead ruling on the application, Justice Peter Ige said that it is not enough said not enough materials had been presented before the court to show that Justice Bukachua will be biased in the hearing and the decisions on the petition. Stressing that the relationship is not culpable of prejudicing the case, Justice Ige concluded that the petitioners have not satisfied the requirement for the president of the tribunal to recuse herself. Justice Bukachua, on her part, agreed with the lead judgment and the dismissal of the application, but said she will recuse herself for personal reasons. She explained that she insisted that the matter be heard by the full court so that in the future, another female judge will not face the same thing she faced. On the foreign scene, 5 NGO workers in Zimbabwe have been charged with plotting to overthrow the government. They appeared before a Harare magistrate where they were alleged to have received training in the Maldives in acts of terrorism and civil disobedience. The state says they had attended a workshop there organized by a Serbian group. The 5 who were arrested at Harare Airport on their return have, however, denied the charges. And that's all we have for you on the news update at 8. Thank you for listening. I am Kala Dakarubatibo. Good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
You deserve more from us. From Great Talk.
Is it a celebrated feat that people should be dying? Don't we have government? I think that should be the focus and not who is behind it.
And then Chief Loveday.
What else do I say? What else do I say? Killing is killing.
For the attack.
News and entertainment programs.
News update on Today 95.1 FM. Thank you for listening. Good morning.
TOFFE.
This man knows at least face on.
Now you do this guy thing.
Hi, I go do this kind of thing now.
You never be this man. You never know the best way.
Honey, now your brother.
Stay glued to this dial. Today 95.1 FM, and we will do the rest.
Excellent.
Good evening. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, Voice of the People, and it is time again for a rundown of the foreign news stories that made the headlines on the world today. In our package tonight, vote counting underway in Malawi presidential election.
Zimbabwe announces fresh increase in fuel price.
Kenyan author and activist Wayana passes on at 48.
The UK Prime Minister comes under pressure to scrap her much criticised Brexit plan.
Britain's second biggest steel maker collapses, putting about 25,000 jobs at risk.
And French President Macron invites Nigeria counterpart President Buhari to Africa-France summit.
World Health Organization declares Argentina malaria-free.
And 6 killed, 200 injured in mass rallies against the re-election of Indonesian President Widodo.
I am Kala Dakurubatibo.
And I am Buchira Fua.
Now we start with Malawi. Officials have started counting votes in Malawi election, which has been described as one of the country's most unpredictable presidential elections. Sources, however, say there were no significant reports of violence as the election appeared to be well organized. Out of the 7 candidates contesting, only 3 are seen as having a realistic chance. President Peter Mutharika is running for a second time, but is being challenged by his own vice president, Swallows Chilima and Lazarus Chakawera.
Zimbabwe has announced a fresh increase in fuel prices 4 months after a price hike triggered nationwide protests and brutal security crackdown. Increasing prices by about 46%, the Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority said petrol would now cost 4.97 of the country's local RTGS dollar per litre, while diesel would cost 4.89 of the same currency. RTGS dollars are a local electronic currency introduced as Zimbabwe struggles with a shortage of the US dollar notes that have recently functioned as its national currency. The Energy Regulatory Authority said that the move followed new measures by the central bank, removing a subsidy and a preferable exchange rate for fuel importers. The latest price increase, which had been expected, follows a 150% fuel price hike in January, which sparked violent street protests that led to death of at least 17 people after a harsh security crackdown. The Reserve Bank had been under pressure to remove the fuel subsidy, and economists saying some fuel companies were accessing cheap foreign currencies and selling it on the black market instead of importing fuel. A fuel price hike will likely trigger another round of price increases in a country where the inflation rate reached 75.86% in April, the highest in a decade.
Kenyan author and activist Binyavanga Wainaina has died at the age of 48. Wainaina, who founded Nairobi-based literary magazine Kwani, passed away following a short illness. Wainaina, who, following the passage of a series of anti-gay laws across Africa in 2014, publicly announced that he was gay, had won the Kind Prize for African Writing for his short story, Discovering Home, in 2002. He was, however, best known around the world for his satirical essay, How to Write About Africa. According to Nigerian-American author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Wainaina felt an obligation to chip away at the shame that people felt about being gay and consequently demystified and humanized homosexuality. Time magazine in 2014 included him in its list of the most influential people in the world.
Away from Africa into the rest of the world, also in the UK, reports have it that Theresa May is under pressure to scrap her much criticized Brexit plan and resign from office. The British Prime Minister spoke about the latest iteration of her European withdrawal deal in the House of Commons today, as voices of dissent within her own party grew increasingly loud. May offered concessions to opponents, hoping to get enough support to get her deal agreed by Parliament by offering the possibility of a confirmatory referendum, but her efforts failed to impress the lawmakers. Many senior government ministers failed to turn up for Parliament's weekly Prime Minister's questions, often an opportunity for political figures to show support for the government on television. Leader of the opposition Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, describing May's government as too weak and too divided to get the country out of the mess it has created, has gone ahead to call for a general election.
In the UK, Britain's second biggest steelmaker collapsed today, putting about 5,000 jobs at the company directly at risk and threatening another 20,000 at suppliers. The company was seeking a government bailout, but talks ended without agreement. In accordance with the government insolvency service, the High Court ordered the company into compulsory liquidation. British Steel was reportedly seeking a government loan of £75 million to cover losses it said it suffered because European orders had evaporated due to the uncertainty surrounding Brexit. The government said it has appointed EY to try to find a new owner for the company. British Steel will, however, continue to operate and its workers will be paid while the search continues. European steel makers have been under pressure because of cheap competition from China. The European Commission put anti-dumping measures on Chinese steel in 2017 and extended them in 2018 after an investigation showed the practice of flooding the market with steel priced below production cost was continuing. On top of that, steel makers around the world were hit last year by tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. The tariffs have provided some relief to American steelmakers, but analysts say their future is also uncertain as shares in major U.S. steel producers have plummeted in the years since the tariffs were announced.
And in France, the French President Emmanuel Macron has invited his Nigerian counterpart, President Muhammadu Buhari, to the Africa-France Summit. The summit is scheduled to hold in June 2020 in Bordeaux, France. A Secretary General Africa-France Summit, Stephanie Rival, who revealed this when she visited the Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyema, yesterday in Abuja. The nation's capital said that the summit with the theme Sustainable Cities was aimed at helping African countries resolve the rural-urban drift among other challenges bedeviling the continent. According to her, Nigeria is expected to showcase its projects that have been proven to work at the two-day summit for all stakeholders involved in development of cities. Revol also said that the summit, unlike every other summit, is expected to provide concrete solutions to the challenges facing cities in Africa.
And now in Argentina, the World Health Organization has declared Argentina alongside Algeria in Africa malaria-free. This means that there has not been a single case of anyone catching the disease in either country over the past 3 years. The WHO's declaration is good news in the face of concern that malaria may be making a resurgence, as according to the most recent annual figures, global malaria cases are no longer falling. According to WHO, Algeria is the second country in Africa to be officially recognized as malaria-free after Mauritius, which was certified in 1973. Stating that Argentina and Algeria have eliminated malaria due to the unwavering commitment and perseverance of the people and leaders of both countries, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom further added that their success serves as a model for other countries working to end this disease once and for all.
And 6 people have been killed and 200 injured during mass rallies in Jakarta against the re-election of Indonesian President Joko Widodo. Indonesian police, who confirmed the death toll based on reports from hospitals, said the cause of the death was being investigated. A National Police Chief, Tito Karnavian, has said the public should not assume the police were responsible, denying that his officers had used live ammunition and called for calm. Meanwhile, social media has been restricted in some areas to stop rumors spreading. The authorities have said the protests were planned and not spontaneous, adding that a group of provocateurs may have been responsible for the violence. A police spokesman, Mohammed Iqbal, said majority of the protesters came from outside of Jakarta. Though protesters have been gathering again in the city, President Widodo has promised a firm action against rioters.
A member of the Pakistan's Balochistan Assembly, Majabin Sharan, who was asked to leave for bringing an unwell infant to the assembly session, has vowed to campaign for the establishment of daycare centers in assemblies and government departments. Sharan, on April 29, was criticized by staff and fellow members of the assembly for bringing a 7-month-old son who was sick and could not be left at home to the chamber for a session. She was subsequently asked to leave the session. Sharan said she felt embarrassed because some men in the session made jokes about her bringing a son. She added that she looked for someone to stand up for and support her, but no one did. The female lawmaker, who has severally in the past requested the assembly secretary for a spare room to serve as a daycare facility to no avail, is now seeking support from political leaders and activists to establish daycare facilities in government offices and assemblies. She said she will also propose a bill to allow mothers to bring babies to the assemblies and to share the experiences of working mothers with men. Sharon, who said she has seen women, lawyers, activists, and politicians taking their children to work if they have to, expressed her disappointment to know that bringing children to the assembly in Pakistan was against the law. In a similar case, as Sharon's Japanese politician Yuka Ogata was also criticized by politicians for trying to bring a baby to a council session. In her statement, she said she wanted to show the difficulties when women juggle with careers and raising children.
And in Iran, Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif has warned the United States that it was playing a dangerous game by boosting its military might in the Gulf as the fiery rhetoric between Washington and Tehran continues. Zarif criticized the U.S. move to deploy an aircraft carrier, a strike group, and bomber task force earlier this month in response to an unspecified threat, cautioning that having all these military assets in a small area is in itself prone to accidents. The relationship between Tehran and Washington has, however, steadily deteriorated a year after U.S. President Donald Trump pulled out of a landmark 2015 nuclear accord brokered between the Islamic Republic and several other world powers. Under the deal, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action (JCPOA), Iran agreed to curb its nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. Since then, the Trump administration has pursued a maximum pressure campaign against Tehran, which it accuses of being a destabilizing actor in the Middle East.
Omani author Joka Al-Ati has become the first Arabic writer to win the Man Booker International Prize. A winning novel titled Celestial Bodies centers on the lives of three sisters and their families coming to terms with social changes in Oman. Judges described the novel as a richly imagined, engaging, and poetic insight. The writer, however, shares the award of £50,000 with our translator, American academic Marilyn Booth. Al-Ati, speaking with newsmen after receiving the prize at the Roundhouse in London, said she was thrilled that the window has been opened to the rich Arabic culture. She added that though Oman inspired her work, international readers could relate to the human values in her book, which are freedom and love.
Again, a summary of the stories that did made headlines. A vote counting underway in Malawi presidential election, which has been described as one of the country's most unpredictable elections.
The Zimbabwe government announces fresh increase in fuel prices 4 months after a price hike triggered nationwide protests and brutal security crackdown.
Kenyan author and activist Wainaina dies at the age of 48 following a short illness.
UK Prime Minister Theresa May comes under pressure to scrap a much criticized Brexit plan and resign from office, with voices of dissent within our own party growing increasingly loud.
French President Macron invites his Nigerian counterpart President Buhari to the Africa-France summit scheduled to hold in June 2020 in France.
6 killed and 200 injured during mass rallies in Jakarta against the re-election of Indonesian President Widodo. Police says the cause of the death is being investigated.
And that story concludes tonight's edition of The World Today, as produced by Emmanuel Okoro of the News Department.
Till same time tomorrow, do have a lovely evening.
I am Buchi Rafua.
And I am Kala Dakurubatsubo.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
You deserve more from us.
From Great Talk.
Is it a celebrated feat that people should be dying? Don't we have government? I think that should be the focus and not who is behind it.
And then Chief Loveday.
What else do I say? Killing is killing.
For the attack.
News and entertainment programs.
News update on Today 95.1 FM. Thank you for listening. Good morning.
TOFFE.
This man knows at least space on.
Now you do this kind of thing.
I go do this kind of thing now.
You never meet this man. You never know the best way.
Honey, now your brother.
Stay glued to this dial. Today 95.1 FM, and we will do the rest.
Excellent.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
And
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the alarm is the one who made the public know about
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your Premium Talk Radio station.
We are your Premium Talk Radio station. Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
Are you in search of a place to do all your audio recordings? From jingle, documentaries, church messages, and lots more.
Are you in search of a platform to give your business maximum exposure? Look no further. Come advertise with Today FM. With our unbeatable reach, we'll give your business the boost it so dearly needs. Visit us now at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt. Whatever the business is, we'll give it a voice.
You're welcome to the program. Let's talk. Flood has become a major issue in our society. Was there no proper drainage done for this flood? For this flood to be done? And it gets me thinking.
You see how difficult it is for them. Not all hosts know about the game. Hello and welcome to your number one news and talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM. We've got loads of news and gossip for you. But first off, let's go on a commercial break.
Radio has never been this good. Today,
glad you know now.
It's that time on radio. Let's take you into the life and times of men and women who inspire, role models who have shaped the world.
Babatunde Raji Fashola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, was sworn in as the Honorable Minister of Power, Works and Housing, newly created through an unprecedented consolidation of the three hitherto distinct ministries by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday, 11th November 2015. Babatunde Fashola came to the job at the federal level with high acclaim as the immediate past governor of Lagos State, elected the 13th governor of Lagos on the 29th of May 2007 and overwhelmingly re-elected for a second term on the 26th of April 2011. His second term tenure came as a glorious end on May 29, 2015 with the swearing in of Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, his successor from the same All Progressives Congress. Babatunde Raji Fashola was born in Lagos on the 28th of June 1963. He attended Birch Freeman High School, Lagos, and Igbobi College, Lagos. He studied law at the University of Benin, from where he graduated with a Bachelor of Laws LLB Honorable degree in 1987. He is married to Mrs. Abimbola Emanuela Fashola and they have children. Babatunde Fashola was called to the Nigerian bar in November 1988. He cut his teeth as the barrister in the law firm of Shofunde Osakwe, Ogundipe and Belgore as a litigator specializing in chieftaincy matters, land disputes, intellectual property, commercial and criminal law. In August 2004, he was conferred with the rank of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Nigeria's highest legal distinction. There is a popular acclamation that Babatunde Raji Fashola during his administration as the governor of Lagos State marked a historic turning point in the life of Lagos as the largest African city. Now, there are five most of the significant achievements, and the achievements will be the fight against Ebola. Fashola, in his administration, turned a forthcoming disaster into a public health and public relations success. He took personal control of the process to track down and isolate about 1,000 people feared to have been infected since Patrick Sawyer's coming. He broke off from a pilgrimage to Mecca, flew home, and then set up an Ebola Emergency Operations Center, which led the huge task of monitoring all those possibly infected. A team of 2,000 officials were skilled for the task, which ended knocking on 26,000 doors. At one point, he was briefed up to 10 times a day by disease control experts. He made a point of visiting the country's Ebola Treatment Center, a way of communicating to the Nigerian public that they should not panic needlessly. On the area of education, Fashola gave education the attention it earned. Later, the reintegration and creation of well-furnished new blocks of classrooms, distribution of free textbooks, provision of well-equipped workrooms and libraries, provision of buses for teachers and students to comfort transportation problems, the relaunch of uniformed voluntary administration in the state's public schools, implementation of teachers' salary scale (TSS) for teachers in the state public schools, involvement of the Adopt a School initiative, among others. Some of the rehabilitated schools include Ikoton Senior High School, Alimosho, Girls High School, Agege, Okemagba Junior High School, Mojoda, Amuwo Senior Grammar School, Tomia Community Secondary School, Alagbado. In the area of infrastructural renewal of Lagos, on assumption of administration, Fashola bordered a huge infrastructure renewal of Lagos metropolis. The main focus formed the key city highways. There was great reconstruction work going on at the same time almost all over Lagos. The result was that within the first 4 years of his term, Lagos metropolis wore a new look. Most of the main highways were transformed and painted. New roads were opened up with flyover bridges. State-of-the-art pedestrian bridges were constructed to substitute the run-down old ones. In the area of rural transformation, the Fashola administration also saw a great progress in the rural area as over 110 rural development projects were furnished under the Rural Water and Sanitation Structure. At the end of the year 2009, 104 communities were measured for delivery of modified Type A water scheme from the Intervention Fund. Some other achievements are in the rural sphere are the formation of modern abattoirs at Ologi, Okwoba and Liarage, construction of access roads to link up villages in places like Imude Road, Shibiri Etegni Road, Ajangbadi Ilogbo Road, Agboroko to Igbo Road, Eleri Road, and Ariyo Muyo Tedioshun Road, and so on. His administration also completed 165 rural electrification projects under its Rural Interference Scheme in the area of public safety and security. Towards achieving security as one of the most important preconditions for human existence, the Fashola government not only turned most hideouts and joints that previously served as bases for imposters and armed robbers into beautiful environment, it also established the Lagos State Security Trust Fund to effectively fund the security needs of the state on a sustainable basis. As the governor of Lagos, he did a lot, and his vision is to put Lagos in the same rank with the important cities like Dubai in the UAE, Jakarta in Indonesia, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, among others. In Lagos, southwest Nigeria, and Nigeria as a whole, Babatunde Raji Fashola remains a reference point in 21st century governance.
Personality profile. Now you know. It's that time on radio. Let's take you into the life and times of men and women who inspire, role models who have shaped the world.
Olufumilayo Ransom Kuti, also known as Frances Abigail Olufumilayo Thomas. She was born on October 25th in the 1900s in Abeokuta, Ogun State of Nigeria. Her father was a son of a Nigerian slave who returned from Sierra Leone and traced his ancestral history back to Abeokuta in what is today known as Ogun State, Nigeria. After her early education, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti attended the Abeokuta Grammar School, after which she traveled to England for further studies. She later came back to Nigeria and became a teacher. On January 20th, 1925, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti got married to Reverend Israel Oludotun Ransom Kuti, one of the founders of both the Nigerian Union of Teachers and of the Nigerian Union of Students, and the defender of the commoners. They had 3 sons: Fela Anikulapo Kuti, a musician; Beko Ransom Kuti, a doctor; and Professor Olukoye Ransom Kuti, a doctor and former health minister of Nigeria. She was also grandmother to musicians Sheun Kuti and Femi Kuti, country. In the year 1965, Fumilayo Ransome Kuti received the National Honor of Membership in the Order of Nigeria and was bestowed the Honorary Doctorate of Laws by the University of Ibadan. Throughout her career, Fumilayo was also known as an educator and an activist. She founded an organization for women in Abeokuta that had more than 20,000 women as members, including both literate and illiterate women. The general public became aware of her organization when Fumilayo Ransome Kuti rallied women against price controls. The general public became aware of her organization when Fumilayo Ransome Kuti rallied women against price controls that were negatively affecting the female merchants of the Abeokuta market. In the year 1949, she led a protest against the Alake of Egbaland, a native authority. She then made a presentation of documents alleging abuse of authority by the Alake, whom the then government granted the rights to collect taxes. The Alake subsequently relinquished his crown. She also led a movement that oversaw the successful abolishing of separate tax rates for women. In the year 1953, she founded the Federation of Nigerian Women's Societies, an association that subsequently formed an alliance with the Women's International Democratic Federation. Fumilayo Ransome Kuti campaigned for and ensured that women's votes counted during elections. She was also the founder of Egba Women's Union, an association she co-founded with Eniola Soyinka, her sister-in-law, and the mother of the Nigerian Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. This organization is said to, at a particular point in time, had a membership of 20,000 women. During the period of the Cold War between the West, the former USSR, and before the independence of Nigeria, Fumilayo Kuti traveled widely around the world, and this got the Nigerian as well as British and American governments angry because they believed that she maintained contact with the Eastern Bloc as she traveled a lot to the former USSR, Hungary, and China, where she met Mao Zedong. In 1956, the government refused to renew her passport because it was assumed that she intended to influence Nigerian women with communist ideas and policies. Almost at the same time, the United States refused her visa because the American government alleged that she was a communist. Before Nigeria's independence of 1960, Fumilayo founded the Communist People's Party in an attempt to challenge the ruling NCNC. This action ultimately denied the NCNC victory in her area. During her lifetime, Fumilayo Ransome Kuti also organized workshops for illiterate market women. When she became old, Fumilayo's activism was overshadowed by that of her three sons, who ultimately provided effective opposition to various Nigerian military juntas. In 1978, Fumilayo Ransome Kuti was thrown down from a third-floor window of her son Fela's compound when the compound was stormed by about 1,000 armed military personnel. She went into a coma in February of that year and died on April 13, 1978, as a result of injuries. Olufumilayo Ransome Kuti served with distinction as one of the most prominent leaders of her generation, and she was also noted as the first woman in Nigeria to drive a car.
Personality profile. Now you know.
Are you in search of a place to do all your audio recordings? From jingle, documentaries, church messages, and lots more.
Are you in search of a platform to give your business maximum exposure? Look no further. Come advertise with Today FM. With our unbeatable reach, we'll give your business the boost it so dearly needs. Visit us now at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt. Whatever the business is, we'll give it a voice.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
One of us must have a last say. Words like dagger, we try to hurt each other. There's no other way until one surrenders. We've been like this for days. We've been like this for days. So when you said goodbye, what put a smile on your face. I thought it was as usual, you began just for a little while. I didn't see it coming, wouldn't believe what someone told me, that I've been waiting for years. Been waiting for years. Even though we knew like we're far away, far from far away. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's go back to the beginning. None of us must have a last say. I'm writing you this letter, hoping we can make things clearer. Over all the shouting, we forget to hear each other. And I miss you for days, in so many ways. Even though we knew like we're far away, far from far away. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's go back to the beginning. You and me. Let's go back to the beginning. You and me.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. This is Today.
The countdown is not going to stop until we kick the first ball in anger over there in Egypt. That is what we've said here in Global Sports Update, and we will not even stop at anything until we ensure that we bring to you the best of the African Cup of Nations here in the very show as it continues to unfold. Definitely, anytime you stick with us, you get the various gists about it. Paul Johnson Wokolo is my name, and this is Global Sports Update, a Wednesday edition of it. Midweek edition, you can call it. And we Nigerians know that it is a month from today, we will be kicking our first ball in anger, like I said earlier, against Burundi. 6 p.m. they have stated in the time schedule where Nigeria will be playing our first game. Nations upon nations are releasing their list for the squad. Nigeria, we are still stuck with our 25-man provisional list. Who will be in and who will be out? The big questions everyone is asking, and Gernot Rohr is the final man who will give us the answer. He is still playing his card between his chest. Will he release it for all of us to see sooner rather than later? Well, that one is a topic for another day. But the trending stories, like we always bring it in the world of sports, some of them we always look at. Here, the soap opera in the Nations Cup is already unfolding, and it took over Ghana. It started a few days ago in that country, and it seems to have ended just immediately as it started. Yes, the story of Asamoah Gyan. He shocked the world with his abrupt retirement from the national team to kickstart the whole fracas. Well, right now, 24 hours later, the Ghana all-time top scorer we have heard is saying, okay, no more of those short movies. I have not called it quit anymore. I am still going to play for Ghana. He is 33 years of age and Ghana's all-time top scorer. And after talking with the president of the country, Nana Akufo-Addo, who didn't want to have any of such controversy surrounding the country's team as they get into the Cup of Nations in June, the former Sunderland striker Asamoah Gyan has come out of his retirement saying, a presidential request is one that cannot be disregarded. I have had the opportunity to speak with the father of the nation, His Excellency, who though respected my wishes, he has asked me to rescind my decision to retire from the national team. I have taken the request of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo in good faith. and will make myself available for selection by the coach of Ghana. He said his desire to lead his team Ghana to end their over 3 decades of wait to win the Cup of Nations is what is still pushing him on. A great servant of the nation, you will say, and he shouldn't have ever had any reason to make such a statement if Ghana really respected his great contributions to their country. I am not ever going to leave this beautiful city of Madrid. This city has chosen me, this club loves me, and here is where I want to finish my career. So says 2018 World Cup winner and Real Madrid strong man Rafael Varane. He was linked to a move away from Madrid for several months now, and with big changes expected to happen at the Santiago Bernabeu, many expected the 26-year-old France lanky defender to be among the departures from Zidane's squad. But what do we hear? He says everything must end one day, but after such a season, it was not my wish. For the story I have in this club, for the fans, for everyone, it will be very ugly to live in this manner. Varane, we know, has made 32 league appearances for Madrid this season, and it is his highest ever league appearance tally in a league campaign since he joined from RC Lens 8 years ago. And so that means that by next year it will have become 9 years since he joined Madrid from Division 2 club in France. Wow, how time flies, you will say. If you ever hear about Raheem Sterling, what comes to your mind? For me, there are two things that comes to my mind. Either he's scoring a winning goal or he's talking about racism. I don't know for you, but this time around, since the season is finished for Raheem Sterling and Manchester City, it can't be about goals anymore. It has to be about the issue of racism. And there it is. The 24-year-old has championed the fight against racism like a Martin Luther King would do for the world of football. And today again, he said on what he insists should be the appropriate punishment on racist fans and their club in order to get the ugly trend brought to a stop. Speaking to Wall Street Journal, the Man City forward had this to say about this issue.
As I said, we put forward a nine-point deduction. We also, I can't remember the exact points, but yeah, the main one was the 9-point deduction, purely because if I'm a supporter for a team, I don't want my team to get, deducted 9 points.
Raheem Sterling has always bearing his mind to the world. He doesn't like racism. He respects everyone, black, white, colored. Anytime you are a human being, he says you must be respected. Now, on this man, we talk about basketball most days, and he is the center of attraction. He is seen as the savior of his people at Milwaukee Bucks. But Giannis, the Nigerian-born Greek sensation, Antetokounmpo, he could only do little as much as he could, as his side were beaten back-to-back in the NBA playoffs by the Toronto Raptors to level their series matchup to a 2-all finish. Now, this 24-year-old young man has become the center of topics of discussion as questions are being raised whether he is able to lift his side to the final push in order to take them to their first ever NBA finals in more than 3 decades. But he is an MVP candidate, and he says he cannot give up hope. Despite the Toronto Raptors leveling up the series, he does not doubt the ability of his team to come back and clinch the finals ticket of the NBA. Here is what he had to say.
Obviously, if you lose 1 or 2 games, it's not the end of the world. We realize, where we are right now. We realize the opportunity that we have, but at the end of the day, we build habits, all season long. So we're not going to lose, our confidence. We're going to keep believing in our habits, keep trusting one another. And it's going to take care of itself. At the end of the day, if we do the right thing, we still believe in our habits and we still trust one another, and it doesn't take care of itself. We did our job. And that's what it's all about.
Everything about Nigeria has to be glorious, and this man is representing us well. Even though blue and white is the color of Greece, his Nigerian heart says green. That's about the top stories that we are bringing to you from the world of sports. Some of them, always many, are still unfolding, like you know that. And now we have to move to the league in Nigeria. 1 game to go, and most teams are fighting for their lives to stay up, while some are fighting for their future to be in the continent and receive some glorious paycheck. Yes, one of them is perennial achievers. You can call them the Sharks of yesteryears of Nigerian football. Enyimba of Aba. Is it yesteryears, or are they still the top team to be feared anytime you hear them coming around your city? Yes, they have a captain who has been dragging them all through the season. No matter what happens, he says this team must be at the playoffs, and that is why he's doing what he can to take them to the playoffs. Ifeanyi Anemena is our man on the show today. Glad to have him. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing great. And you?
Yes, very fine. Great to have you in the studio. It is not easy to drag a team as big as Enyimba with history, with pedigree, and with everything one would say of a big club. And you are doing it with every responsibility on your shoulders. How do you get to do this, especially this season that you are under pressure?
Yeah, it has been a hard work for me, because for the team too. Because there's a lot of sacrifice and hard work if you have to play professionally in football. I thank God that the hard work and prayers has been yielding results, and it has been going very well for me. I thank God for this season.
This is a season that most have started seeing your input, especially with the goals. How did you come about the goals? Has this always been part of you? Did you start as a striker that you have decided now to start putting your experience in front of goal to use?
Quite right. The previous season I've been scoring goals, and but this is the highest time I've scored goal that I've reached in my career, and it has been just like I said previously. It has been hard work, dedication, and determination for me to make sure that anytime I'm playing, I'm having the urge to score goals. So the scoring goals has been inside of me. I've been scoring before.
Yes, the challenge of being the captain that will have to ensure that Enyimba at least gets back to the continental football. Is that a pressure that you are aware of, that you are facing, or you're just seeing it as one of those seasons that at least Enyimba ought to be a team that is playing in the continental football?
I've been long in Enyimba. This is my 5th season in Enyimba, and I've known most of the things happening in the team. It is quite true that we lost a lot of players before the season started, but it's always a responsibility of players in the team to carry shoulder the team when all chips are down. So it's not a matter of an individual effort anyway. The team collectively has been working hard and making sure that the team is moving forward. But I thank God for this season. So far, where we have gotten to, it has been God too who has been helping us. And just like I said previously, it has been hard work and determination that has kept us where we are today.
Now you are traveling away for your final game of the season, right?
Yeah.
And which game is that?
Today95.
This is a team that they are always strong at home. What is your preparation ahead of such a visit to the northern part of the country?
It's going to be a tough game because they are also running out from relegation, and we were looking for the 6th slot, so that for the 3 slots that will be playing the Super 6. So it's going to be a tough game against Katsina United, and I know by God's grace we are going to prevail because we know what is at stake for us this season. So we're going to work hard and make sure that we get something there.
It was not a great result having to be held at home by Wiki Tourist. Was it a daunting task after the game?
That game was a very tough game for us, knowing that we needed to win at all costs. They actually equalized late, and for us to pick up to have scored, it was a very difficult game for us. But we learned from it. We learned from that game, and we are also opportune to go to Remo Stars to get a point in order to make up for that point. So the game was actually a very tough game for us, but we thank God that at the end of it, at least we've covered up some gaps.
Yes, talking about covering up some gaps. Aside that game against Wiki Tourist, which game would you have said that if you had made a good result out of that and not gotten the kind of result you didn't want, it would have pushed you by now to a very comfortable position that you by now have said top 3 is over?
Yeah, the game that actually dragged us down was the game against Insurance, Bendel Insurance, yes. Because we actually came out to make sure that we win that match in order to push ahead. Most of the time when we are supposed to get to second or first, we find out that the team will just come and draw us at home. It was actually Bendel Insurance that slowed us down.
Very great. And that will be the first part of our very big discussion with this big man. Yes, he loves to defend as well as he loves to score the goals. 6 goals already in the league. Do you know how he started his football? Do you know how he ventured into this game of football to become as great as playing for and captaining Enyimba? That will be part of these very many things you have to get when we come by on the show tomorrow, which is still a great day for us to discuss sports. Paul Johnson Wokolo is my name. Till when we come back then, keep sporting. Be who we want to be the best in it. Bye-bye.
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Opinion poll with Kalada.
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Opinion poll with Kalada.
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Opinion poll with Kalada.
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Opinion poll with Kalada.
It is a wonderful Wednesday evening. It is the 22nd day of May in the year 2019. I am yours truly, Kada, and it is time for Opinion Poll on your Premium Talk Radio. I mean, the voice of the people, today 95.1 FM. I have something in my mind I would like to share with you, but before I jump straight into tonight's discussion, something caught my attention earlier today, and it has to do with we being the giant of Africa. I mean, with all of our giant stature and all of our self-acclaimed big brother of Africa. I mean, there's so much feared electronic system of voting is now being used in Malawi, and I think it's something that we need to learn. I mean, what do you call them now? South Africa did the election sometime early this month, and it was swift, very, very quick, and results were reeled out, and we knew the winners, or we got to know the winners. And the same thing is happening currently in Malawi, and so peaceful. There was no deployment of army, no deployment of it was very peaceful. I mean, everybody conducted themselves accordingly. I mean, so much for us to learn. And so I said I need to put that in before I get into the meat of today's discuss. Big brother Nigeria, you've got a lot to learn. You've really got a lot to learn. All right, good evening to you once again. I'm so excited to be in the studio. I'm not as sad as I was yesterday. I'm not really struggling as I was yesterday, even if it's been kind of a slow day for me. I mean, I've been struggling in my job, but I hope I can do justice to Opinion Poll tonight, because something really caught my attention still, and I want to share with you and get your opinion on that. It has to do with the valedictory council meeting. We had one in our dear state, River State, and we had one in the federal level, and it's exciting because I saw differences in how both valedictory council meetings were held. Now, in the federal level, the president talked about, I think they talked about things that they achieved. The president came out and reeled out things that they achieved, and he went on to say, still continue working. Work till May 28th. When you work till May 28th, hand over your notes and every other document to the permanent secretary of the ministry. Very interesting. And that could be a discussion for another day. But let's come home to River State. Now, in River State, a lot of things happen. I watched the valedictory, speeches from the various commissioners and, various members of the executive council. And what I did here from many of them was more of praises for the governor, and I have no problem with it, because normally when you're doing a valedictory speech or you're giving a valediction, what usually happens, you say thank you to the people who know your leaders, probably, maybe if it's a school, your teachers, you say, but then again, at the same time, you try to list all of the qualities and all of the things that that you learned from this person. That is what they also did. At the same time, you also list the achievements of the government. And I was expecting to hear, okay, in the Ministry of Environment, Your Excellency, this is what we gained, this is what we were unable to gain, this is where we were able to, this is what we were able to achieve, this is the level we got to. But really, what I did here, and I'm trust me, I'm finding the right words, I'm trying to choose the right words, so it does not appear as if I'm trying to criticize the government. But this is my observation. I struggled while I was watching the live broadcast, because I was expecting to say, okay, you know what, in the Ministry of Commerce, for example, we came up with this policy and the people of River State are so happy about it, and thank you, Mr. Governor, for giving me the opportunity to serve in that capacity. I didn't, more likely what I heard was, Governor, thank you for bringing me from grass to grace, and thank you for removing shame from me and my family. If you had not given me this appointment, I wonder where I would have been. That was what I was, that's all I had. Apart from 3 people, by the way, there were 3 people who were able to come out and say, this is what I achieved in my tenure as commissioner. And first person who blew my mind, maybe there were more than 3, but because I was up and about, so I wasn't really concentrating. But 3 people caught my attention, and that was the Commissioner for Environment. She even came up with documents for for the year 2015. She had 2015, 2016. She had 2017, 2018 documents of what our ministry achieved. I mean, I am so amazed by that. I am really, really amazed by that. Because all of the other people, I don't think any of them did the same. She submitted a rundown of our department there in the valedictory session of the council meeting. Another person who gave us a rundown was the Attorney General. He talked about all the things they were able to achieve, laws and bills that they initiated in the House of Assembly, and every other thing that they were able to do. And also the Chief of Staff, he made a reference to certain other few achievements of the government, and it was really, really glad to see that certain people had the people in mind, because yes, the governor appoints you as a commissioner, but it's expected that you realize that you are actually serving the people and not the governor. Yes, you probably are making possible or bringing to realization the goals and visions of the governor, but then again, it's the people you're serving. Some other thing caught my attention, but I'm not really sure about it. The extension of the head of service, I really don't know much about that, but I'm going to let that sleep. I'm going to let that one lie. But then again, it seems as if the battle between the GOC commanding 6th Division and the governor, the battle between both groups or both sides of the divide, it seems as if that battle is not going anytime soon. The governor continued with the allegations of the GOC being involved in bunkery and saying, how can he come and allege that the governor tried to bribe him when they have never met before? Interesting. Maybe I didn't understand that part very well, but really interesting. And he went on to say that he defeated the GOC in the elections. He kept reiterating that fact, and it looks as if that battle ain't going anytime soon. But in the interest of the people, I am of the opinion, Your Excellency, that just maybe you should find a common ground. Just like you extended the olive branch to all the political parties. And by the way, congratulations. I mean, the parties are now what's it called now? They're now dropping their suits filed in courts in the election petition tribunals, and they are coming out to recognize the olive branch that you have initiated or you have given to other political parties. And I believe you should do the same, because you are the Chief Security Officer of the state, and it is only expected that as Chief Security Officer, I'm sorry, Canada take it to your appeal. Okay, so as Chief Security Officer of the state, it's only expected that you are, going to work. What's the word now? You're going to work in synergy. Exactly. Thank you very much. You're going to work in synergy with these security heads and bring peace and stability to River State. So I'm hoping that you guys find a common ground. I mean, GOC, please find a way to, he's the Chief Security Officer of the state. Find a way to, find a common ground where you guys can work together for the people, because you people are there for the people. You are there for the people, for the sake of the people. I am begging. Thank you very much. So another thing that did catch my attention were the words of the governor, where he said Nigeria is a country that does not inspire hope, but worships corruption. And I've been thinking about it. I mean, for Nigeria not to be able to inspire hope, whose fault is it? The leaders, right? Is he not part of the leaders? I mean, he was one time Minister of States. I mean, okay, let's leave that one. Let's leave the sleeping dog to lie. But this is where my conversation is going to be based on. This is where it's going to be focused. And it's going to be focused on the statement where he said that certain oh my God, help me. He said certain members of the present outgoing cabinet will return. He boasted of the professionals that he has in the cabinet. He said he had PhD holders, he had professors, and he said that he's not even sure that the federal cabinet has as much professionals as the cabinet in River State. So it got me thinking. It got me really thinking. I mean, I was going to talk about the state of the economy today, but then when he made that statement, it got me thinking. So with all of these professionals in the cabinet, I mean the outgoing cabinet, with all of the professionals, how have these commissioners fared? I mean, if you were to score them, I mean, you're in River State, yeah? You've been in River State for a while. I mean, you know how the environment is, so maybe you can score the Ministry of Environment. You know what commerce like is in River State, so you can, score the Ministry of Commerce. You know what the health condition is like in River State, so yeah, you can go ahead and score the Ministry of Health. I mean, you know what works and infrastructure looks like in River State, so you can go ahead and, I mean, basically, you are recipients of the various ministries in River State. I mean, you are in River State, so you know what is happening in River State. Because, like I said, the governor beat his chest and said, oh, I have, men and women in my cabinet who are professionals, and I don't even think that the federal government's cabinet is as rich as mine. I mean, we're talking about the credentials of the people in the cabinet. And then he also made a statement about consulting certain leaders in the selection of commissioners. He said, he has to go to the various communities and the leaders therein and take, one or two advice from them and, on who to pick and select as, what they call them, as commissioners for the next tenure. That some of them might come back because A majority of them had done a good job. Interesting. Majority of them had done a good job. And, that was, the same tone the president used, that majority of the ministers in the federal level had done a good job. So I'm going to leave it in the hands of the people tonight because, like I said, today 95.1 is the voice of the people. I am going to leave it in the hands of the people tonight. And I'm going to ask a question. How has these commissioners fared? Who should be reappointed, and on what criteria should these ESCOs be reappointed or be appointed or reappointed? And going by the president's statement that the ministers had fared very well, and that is why he did not see any reason to replace them in the course of the tenure, which makes me also want to ask the question: how would you score the ministers in the federal level? I mean, the ministers who are part of the executive council, the Federal Executive Council. That's what I want to be talking about tonight. Because in a couple of days' time, May 29, we will be starting the second tenure, and there will be the clamor for who becomes minister in the federal level and who becomes commissioner in the state level. There will be a lot of lobbying. There will be a lot of what's the word now? There'll be a lot of debates. Even when this election is made, there will be so much brouhaha because some people will kick against some of the names that will be selected. So I want to bring it, to the people tonight. I want to bring it to the floor tonight. I want you and I to talk and, like we love to say, talk for the growth of Nigeria. And let's do this and let's see. I mean, do you think the commissioners did a great job? That should be one of the questions. And if you were to score them, what will be your score? I mean, look at River State. Look at how River State has fared in the last 4 years. Do you think it's enough? Do you think it's good enough? So that's my discuss for tonight. The phone lines are open. 15 minutes gone past the hour of 9. The phone lines are open. 0817 000 0951 and 0810 9510951. You can send in your text messages to the number 0701 933 9962. How has this commissioners fared? Who, in your opinion, should be reappointed? And on what grounds? What are the criteria for appointment and reappointment of commissioners in River State? And then, of course, you go straight to the federal government, I mean the president, saying that the ministers had all fared well and he doesn't see any reason to change anyone. 95.1.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah, good evening to you. What's your name and where you calling from?
Kingston from River State.
Sorry?
Kingston from River State.
I thought I had Lagos State.
No.
Oh my God. All right. Talk to me.
Yes. From the expressions by the outgoing commissioners, you discover that, to me, is the appointment is just to fulfill all righteousness.
Interesting.
Because to my mind, I cannot actually pinpoint on anything done by any of them.
Really?
But if you talk of the commissioner of environment.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for her. But I want to tell you that the blacks you see all over the place.
Yeah, she said something about something about them yet. The commission yet to, or the ministry yet to implement the recommendations from an investigation that was set up by the government.
Well, the point is that Canada is 4 years. It's 4 solid years.
Interesting.
It's not a child's play. So looking at the whole thing, to me, it's as if they are only playing with us. So now if you now talk of a commissioner for agriculture that was eventually made to go and maybe relax or so, if you ask me, I will tell you that nothing. If you not talk of works also, and that's what the case may be, he discovered that the contract is being administered, direct from, the people on top. The commissioner doesn't really know much about what is going on.
So you're saying that it was just, dress rehearsals for some of these commissioners?
We say just I see it to be a type of settlement, political settlement. That's what I can see. Apart from the three that actually came up with what they did, the others, they were only thanking him and appreciating him for giving the opportunity for not letting them to be hungry again. We are beyond that, Kalada. We are bigger than that. We are bigger than that. So I don't know. All over the place, killing this, that, trouble here and there. Nothing is happening. If you talk of electricity, you talk of NEPA. My brother, it's an apology. It's an apology.
Interesting.
The people, for which reason they were actually appointed, they never felt their impact in the society.
All right. So if you were to score them, what would you score them?
My brother, I will score them 20% each.
Even the commissioner for environment, because I think she did a couple of.
What I appreciate is that at least she has a type of blueprint. You understand?
Yeah.
That I'm only praying that maybe she will be called back, to execute.
Okay, interesting.
You understand? If she can come to execute what she has put on ground, that would be great. But I pray that she comes back. Okay, look at Canada on the other hand too. I feel that when we talk of environment too, all these things that we talk of garbage on our roads and all those things that we see. Canada, sorry, if I'm wrong, please correct me. It's not part of the environment.
No, it is, and she mentioned it. She mentioned it to the governor. She said that they were having certain challenges, and that it's in her report because she had figured a way out. The waste to wealth. That's what she called the project, and she was hoping that the governor would implement the project.
You see, Canada, let me come up again. It's not as if maybe I'm trying to compare Amichi's time. I know Wiki's time. I'm not comparing the two. But I want to tell you that Canada, we were in Rivers State. When somebody from Lagos State was appointed to be in charge of what do you call it? This is it
Rwama, yeah.
Good. And I want to tell you, Canada, that the city of Port Harcourt was a garden city. Are you getting me?
I can hear you.
The city of Port Harcourt was a garden city.
All right.
But now our own son has been appointed. Our own people, they are there. And in fact, it's a shame.
All right, thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much.
Well, my prayer for the governor is that God will lead him.
All right.
To actually appoint the people that were going to feel their impact, and not the people that will not come and say, "We thank you for appointing us from grass to grace from this type." In fact, those type of, I don't like hearing that type of stuff.
I
think the people to whom you were appointed, you never knew where you went there. You went there to maybe to take care of your family.
All right.
You understand? Equally again, I want to suggest that the governor should give them free hand, because on the other hand, if they're not giving free hand,
they can't do much.
All
right. I have to go to other callers now. Thank you very much for calling in. I mean, like I said, this is not to backlash the government. I mean, I was expecting more. That's all I'm saying. If I were in that valedictory session, I would have said something like, Your Excellency, good evening or good afternoon, whichever the time or whatever the time was. And I would have gone on to say, thank you for the opportunity to have served the people of River State. And I would have gone on to say all of the things that I did or I had the opportunity to do. That's what I'm saying at 5.1.
Hello.
I can hear you loud and clear. What's your name?
Jude from Oyibo.
Jude from Oyibo, welcome.
Commissioners perform better than Buhari's ministers.
Interesting.
You understand?
Interesting.
Buhari's ministers, they were just busy playing to the gallery. Some of them don't even know the reason why they are there.
But then again, the president said that his ministers, fared so well. They did so well.
Most of the ministers are there just to promote his Islamic agenda. That's all.
Interesting.
They didn't do anything.
Okay, fine. The ministers didn't do anything in your opinion. Wait. Jude from Oibo, can you allow? All right, thank you very much. Can you just be orderly? Can you be orderly? 95.1, lost that one. Can we be orderly? Please? Can we be orderly? Thank you very much. 95.1.
Hello.
Good evening to you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm great. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Thompson in Port Harcourt.
All right, welcome. Thompson.
Yeah, the topic you have brought out for discussion this night, I want to believe that you want us to assess the government.
Exactly, yeah. You're free to. But be constructive in your attempts. That's all I'm asking.
I've always been a constructive.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. I will focus on River State.
Okay.
And I'll give you my reason. My reason is because I reside in River State. So the government of River State is closer to me. I can visualize what they have done and what they haven't done more than any other person.
Interesting.
And I'll tell you this. Let me start from the comment you said the governor made. He said that his government has more professionals than the federal government.
I think he said that, yeah.
My brother, the presence of professionals that I would think have.
Please. Can you turn down the volume if you already said it's giving us squeaky sound.
Let me do that. So what I'm saying is this. Is it better now?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. If we have professionals, I think the reason why people are called professionals is for the fact to be felt. As for me, frankly speaking, I haven't felt much of an impact. I'll tell you the areas where I haven't felt.
Yeah, please go ahead and tell me so I can go to the next caller quickly.
Okay. Now the environment ministry are talking about. What are the components of the environment? Garbage and sewage disposal are parts of the environmental issue.
Interesting.
The soot in the atmosphere of River State is part of the environment.
Interesting.
The flooding around River State is part of the environment. We can count on and on. Which one was the decisive action taken about? That is one. Agriculture is the second one. I'm sure this state has a Ministry of Agriculture.
Yeah, it was there.
Beautiful. Salada, you have been in this state. Tell me one impact you have had in the area of agriculture in this state. Most states in Nigeria today are cultivating one crop or the other. Those that are not even cultivating are establishing factories for processing what others have cultivated to make money for themselves.
All right.
What has the Ministry of Agriculture done in River State? There is, I suppose, there should be a Ministry of Employment. If I'm correct.
Ministry of Youth and Employment. I really do not know about that one, but probably they should. They should. There should be a commissioner for youth, I think.
Even if there isn't, one of the targets of the employment of rivers, you should be keyed into one of the ministries. If there's no Ministry of Employment.
Yeah, interesting.
How well have River State youth fared in terms of employment? Now look at what the the Commissioner for Environment, what you read out that she said. That she has a blueprint concerning waste management, isn't it? Then she's expressing her hope or his hope that the government will implement the governor will implement the blueprint.
Because she's leaving office. She's left office as a matter of fact.
Yes, she has left office, isn't it? And it is expected that the new commissioner will come in if she's not returned.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Who should implement the blueprint? Is
the
it
governor.
The new commissioner or the...
Well, the governor, that's what she said.
No,
she said the governor.
No, I'm saying who is the right person? Apart from what she said. Who should implement the blueprint she's leaving behind?
The new commissioner.
So what does that tell you about the relationship between the governor and the commissioners in the state? In terms of freedom to work. Brother, there are so many issues.
But the truth is, when a commissioner comes up with an idea, the person who has the final say should be the governor, and it's the same thing in the federal level.
The governor does not have the final say. The governor only gives an encouragement in terms of provision of funds.
But he's the one who's going to sign it. He's the one who's going to sign it. That's what I'm saying. That is what I mean by he has the final say. But anyways, thank you very much for calling in, Thompson. I need to go to other callers.
I want one more. No.
It's been 5 minutes.
Kalada, give me this just 1 minute.
Oh my! All right, quickly.
Please.
Quickly.
Okay. Now again, the governor made mention of the the DOC claiming that
that's not really part of the discussion. I just said that in passing.
The government now.
But I just said that in passing, But
what I wanted to say is that you don't need to meet somebody face to face before you attempt to bribe him.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. What's your name?
This is John from Alu.
This is John from Alu.
Yes.
All right, John from Alu, welcome.
Our president commending the ministers that work under him.
Yes. I quote. This is what it said, and I quote. It says, "It is the." Wait. I need to quote this so people can. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
He commending this man to have done noble. It's really, it's a sharp contrast to what is in existence.
Sorry, John. The last I remembered, the president is entitled to his opinion, just as you are entitled to your opinion. No, you tell me your opinion and leave the president alone. You tell me what you think about.
Now, I want me to give my opinion. I'm giving my opinion.
All right, go ahead then.
My opinion is to criticize the comment of the president.
No, the question. Listen, John. John, listen. John, I'll cut you off. Listen. The question is, how has the ministers fared? I'm not talking about the president's comment here. I'm asking, yes, the president's comment is what...
The Minister of Defense has fared badly.
All right.
The Minister of Defense has fared badly. You know how many Nigerians that have died on the altar of a bandit, Boko Haram, kidnapping, and all sorts of names you may call them. It's Fulanization of Nigeria, of West Africa, and Islamization of Africa, and you are commending the Minister of Defense for doing very well. Is that not shameful? Is that not shameful?
Okay. John, stop. John, stop shouting. Listen to me. You're shouting. Let's have a conversation. It's a conversation, not a quarrel. Now, you said the Minister of Defense, but that's one ministry out of so many. Which other minister you think did not do well?
Okay. If you give me room to say more, okay, let's go back. Let's come back to our home. The Minister of Transportation. When he was a governor of River State,
we're not talking about when he was governor. We're talking about him as minister.
We had a conversation. Now he's the Minister of Transportation. And when he was a governor of River State, every now and then he was condemning ministers that are supposed to put the East-West Road in order, the rest of them in order. Tell us one single thing as a minister in charge of the Ministry of Transportation that has been put in place. He's the entire South. That's where he came from. He's the lion of South, and some people may call him. Because I said in one advertisement he was called Minister of
Let's leave that. Let's leave all of that. Let's leave off all of those politics now. Can we just focus on what we're talking about? Now, one project in the South side, a lot of projects have been done in the South side, as a matter of fact.
Just give me one project that he has done, that is honest, that has been put in place. Just one.
The completion of the East-West Road, is being...
The way the federal government left East-West Road, that is...
No, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. Imbiama Junction was... Imbiama Junction... No, you're shouting. We're not talking. It's offensive. Imbiama Junction was actually repaired under this administration. I disagree with you. Imbiama Junction... Oh, come on. You travel, I travel as well. Imbiama Junction was done under this administration. Kayama area, I think I can't really recall. But the truth is the East-West Road, I mean, some parts of it were done under this administration.
it's shameful. It's shameful you could be on the air to defend this ministry or this administration for saying it's
all right. I get your opinion. John. Thank you, John, for calling. Please, I need to beg you. We have a conversation. When you shout, the people who are listening cannot enjoy the conversation. I mean, we can't all talk at the top of our voices, So let's try, Let's try and while we are making it constructive, let's also try and talk moderately so we don't shout and make it offensive. Because while John was shouting, I was finding it difficult to hear what he was saying. So the numbers to call in are 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951 at 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. This is Isaac calling from Elios.
Isaac calling from where?
Isaac calling from Elios.
Isaac, all the way from Elios. All right, welcome.
Good evening. How is it?
You can see how work is going. All right, talk to me.
All right. Talking about ministers, to me, I can say, out of all the ministers, I can see only Fashola and Ibeka. I can say they are trying. The rest of them, none of them have performed.
So only 2 out of the many ministers performed for you.
Yeah. All
right. Let's bring it home now. When you look at the commissioners, the various ministries, you are in River State. Where can you really say the government got it really, really right, and where can you say the government got it wrong?
River State, money things are not working.
So you're saying all the commissioners did not do very well.
Especially in the environmental.
Interesting.
You see what is happening in Port Harcourt right now.
But then again, would you put all the blame on the commissioner? We the people have a part of the blame to carry. We dump refuse indiscriminately and without respect for our environment.
Yes, this is very good. Let's look at it. The commissioner have a role which can influence the governor, and from there it can influence the House of Assembly. It can create a law that in River you should do this and or you should don't do something.
Yeah.
He has a role that can influence the government. He can say, this is what is going on, this is what is going on. We should do this thing. And the governor, if he can say something, if they cannot do it, send it to the House of Assembly. They can pass it and work on it. You understand?
I understand you.
So he has a role. I'm not saying that the citizens don't have a role to play, but he has a bigger role. So we should look at that first. This city is called a garden city. So can you still call this place now a garden? See how a garden looks like?
Nice question.
Let's talk about insecurity. A garden supposed to be a place where people can go and relax and feel the nature, forget about your sorrow, forget about the depression and other things. Do you think a River State now is still a garden that people live in and forget about things that are not depressed again?
So are you saying the environment or the lack of the lack of what would I use now? Are you saying the poor situation of the environment is what has caused insecurity in River State?
Very easy.
Oh my God! All right.
Today when I go out, I saw this black suit. The way I was just annoyed, I just asked myself, so is this what I'm hearing?
All right.
How long am I going to live in this place?
Interesting. I have to go to other callers now, John, but thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much. Besides, your line is no longer clear. That's 5-1.
Yeah, Julie. Canada.
Yes, can we have, first of all, before I give you the room, can we have a conversation? Can we talk and not point fingers at anybody?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
If federal government let them complete East-West Road, North Road, West Road, you see this Islamic agenda has destroyed
So now you see, now this is the problem I have with you, Jude. How has Islamic agenda got to do with how the ministers fed?
Islamic agenda.
All right, thank you very much for calling in. I think I'm stopped. I'm not taking calls again on the show. 95.1.
Canada, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Okwando Obine.
All right, Okwando Obine, welcome.
Yes, I am starting from River State.
Because it's where you stay.
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
I want to let you know that I don't even know that there are commissioners in River State.
Interesting. I was going to ask that question, but I restrained myself.
I must tell you the truth that I don't know.
Interesting.
The way the state is being run, a governor is a commissioner, he is the local government chairman. We were here the other day, an assembly member, a proposed assembly member was telling us that it's the governor that decides when they sit, what they will talk and everything. Yeah, you know, dear. So there is nothing, I cannot tell you that the commissioners have performed well when I don't know them. I have not.
But you might you still even if you don't know them, you might have felt the impact. For example, you might have seen the educational sector. I mean, from primary school to secondary school being revitalized. You could have seen maybe the health sectors, one or two projects going on there.
Let me tell you. In the last administration, up to today, I know the commissioner of education, a woman called Mrs. Alice Flores Meni. She was the one that pioneered the building of all the modern schools in River State. But which school have been built in River State in this administration?
But then, if the past administration built all the schools, what is the need of building new schools?
My brother, what I'm telling you is that River State is a commissionerless state. There is no commissioner in River State. It's only the governor that every day we hear him on the radio. It's either alleging that GOC has did this or the police has did this. That is the only thing I know about. I'm telling you. Hello?
I can hear you, and you're right about the fact that River State is commissioner-less, according to your words, because listen, because they are commissioner-less because they have actually left, office. Today was their valedictory session.
No, it's not because.
But that's the truth. I agree with you on that one. But apart from that, I mean, these commissioners have been there. I mean, the Commissioner for Environment, Rosalind Konya, I believe that's her name, or Professor Rosalind Konya. She's been very vociferous.
When I was a student of University of Port Harcourt, that is the only time I used to know about Rosalind Konya. But he became a commissioner. I'm not aware, my brother. I must tell you the truth.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in. Interesting conversation. And 541.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Chris.
Yeah, my name is Chris. Calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, welcome.
Yeah, about Mr. Governor raising himself and the other things, and the people are saying that they are not even seeing anything or something like that with Mr. Project. And it's only
nobody talked about the governor. We're talking about commissioners.
I know commissioners now. I know what I'm saying. I know where I'm going.
Okay.
And some people are saying that they are not seeing any project. Is it the commissioner is the problem? There is no how, if you want to know the commissioner in River State, you go to the appropriate portal now. Are you coming to know who is the commissioner?
No. See, this Chris. Now, you're not supposed. This is it. They are entitled to their opinion. Number one, number two. When somebody listen, Chris.
I'm not attacking anybody.
I know. I want to explain something to you. When somebody comes up and say, "I do not know the commissioner," I think they are implying that they do not know the commissioner because the commissioner has not done enough for them to know the commissioner. For example, if someone built you a road when you needed it the most, please turn off your radio.
Yeah.
If someone built you a road when you needed it the most, then you would know the person who built the road, true or false. When somebody builds a school in your community, when your community needed it the most, you would know the person who built the school. And I believe that is what they are implying.
Yeah. But all these commissioners, all these schools, all those roads they are building, I don't think, I have not even seen Mr. project or governor one day. I only saw the other commissioner, like Kelelawan Road.
Okay.
The commissioner used to come there.
Okay, fine. Let's leave what people said.
Mr. Wike.
Let's leave what people said. Chris, like I said, let's leave what people said. And what do you think about? This is everybody is entitled to their opinion. I said that already. What do you think about what we are talking about? Talk about your own.
I say the River State Commissioner, they have done well.
All right, simple. That's what you should have said from the start.
If anybody have not seen me, I know they have done well.
Very well, yeah.
I have not seen their work. That person, I don't think maybe.
All right, leave what people see. Everybody would not think or view things the way you view them. So you feel that they have done very well. Do I understand it correctly?
Yes, they have done very well.
So if the governor should, select from
for example, now.
Wait. I want to ask you a question. If the governor should select from this set of outgoing commissioners, who do you think he should bring back to the government house?
Well, Commissioner for Roads.
Which one is Commissioner for Road? You mean Commissioner for Works or what?
Yeah, the Commissioner for Works. I mean,
all right.
For Works.
Which other one?
Well, in River State, let me say, life has improved. I'm telling you, I cannot lie to you. Life, I always complain about life.
Light. Is it not PHED? PHED is a private company.
I know there's some. They don't have any government parameters that are supervising what is happening here.
The PHED is privately owned, and I don't think it has anything to do with River State government. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
But why at times the River State government would ask them to do something about life? They don't have anything to tell them. Because I always hear when River State government, they always say something about life. They don't have anything to do with it. They have everything to do. They are contributing.
All right. Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Chris, for calling in. Thank you very much. Chris says they have done well. We have 16 minutes left on the clock. It's a very funny show tonight. What do you think? I mean, how do you think the commissioners have fared? How do you think the ministers have fared? I mean, the president said that his ministers have done so well, and that is why he did not see a reason or any reason to change them in the full tenure. The commissioners, I said, the governor came out and boasted that the professionals that he had in his cabinet, that he doesn't even think that the federal government has such. And he talked about putting River State first. He talked about the fact that the commissioners, his government, everybody did put River State first and would continue to put River State first. And the question is, how has these commissioners fared? Have they put River State first? Have they been able to put in place projects or initiatives that have put the Rivers people first in every sector of society? I really would love to get to hear from you. And he talked about the fact that some of these people will come back into the executive council. And I'm asking, what do you think should be the criteria for selection? Who should be selected? And those are some of the issues that we're looking at tonight. And then 5.1. Hello. Good evening to you.
I want to talk about the commissioners, the outgoing commissioners.
All right.
All of them did well.
All of them?
Yes.
Sorry, I want to get you. You said all of them did well or none of them did well?
The whole ministry, there was no employment in the whole ministry.
Interesting. so because there was no employment, so none of them did well?
Yeah, there was no yes, none of them did. If they had did well, they would have created employment for youth.
Interesting angle there. So if you were to score them, what would be your score?
I would score them just 40%.
40%. That's not that bad. So you wouldn't want the governor to bring any of them back. That is.
They should not come back. There are a lot of people that will do better than them.
Interesting.
So I have not given that opportunity that they had. So they should go and the governor should appoint me. Now that the governor needed peace in the state. Let him bring people from other parties so that they work together and carry Rivers State.
All right. Thank you very much for that one. Thank you very much for calling in. 95.1.
Hello.
Please turn down the volume of your radio set, please. Thank you very much.
I'll move that up there.
All right, so what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Okechukwu in Oji.
Okechukwu from Oji, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Talk to me.
Canada. Let me talk about the Ministry of Education.
Is it in River State or at the federal level?
I will start with River State, then progress to the federal level.
All right, it's interesting. Talk to me.
I am a practitioner in the industry, though not employed by the government. You see, in River State, what the Commissioner for Education was able to do for River State was to make money for them, but no improvement of any kind was made in the standard of education that our children are being given in public schools. Canada, I'll give you a challenge.
I can hear you.
Take a trip to one or two state-owned schools in this state, and I'll tell you what you ask for. Ask to see the water supply system in the schools.
All right.
Please, I hope you are taking records.
I'm listening to you.
Ask to see the power supply system in the schools. At the primary school level, ask to see the scheme of work and other curricular provisions for the state school. Then ask to see what are the resources available for the children and the teachers to work with. If you are able to get information on these things and give it to professionals in the field to analyze for you before we can say whether the Ministry of Education made progress or not.
All right. But then again, the discussion would have been long gone. I mean, you are a practitioner. You should be able to tell us, what are the conditions of some of these things that you have mentioned.
Okay, if you want me to say it, I'll give you an instance. I may not name the school, but for fear of what will happen to the heads of the school.
Right.
The few primary schools I know in River State, even those that are housed in the same place with secondary schools, do not have water supply.
All right.
The school heads have to buy water from malams for the school to use in flushing toilets. And Canada, do we know the risk involved? We are talking of Boko Haram. We are talking of headsmen. The government of a state allows schools to buy water from malams, for malams to walk into the schools and supply water that the children will use. There is no power supply, no generator. There are no resources. I have gone into a school, my brother, to ask for the resources that the schools use in teaching the children. There is none. I'm being frank with you. Apart from the notes that the teachers give to the children at the primary school level, which is fraught with falsehood and misinformation, there are no books. I am telling you. I have worked.
All right. So no, because you've taken a lot of time. I want to go straight to the point.
I have worked into a head teacher school in this state, a public school, to request for the list of books that the children are to use. The head teacher showed me 6 textbooks that the government provided for us to share among the children.
All right, fine. Now, you're using, if I understand it very well, you're using the Ministry of Education to score the other commissioners and say that they have not done very well.
Yes, because many other people have talked about some other ministries. So I don't need to flog issues that have already been talked about. There are some other ministries I have reservations about, but people have already talked about them. So I want to align with what the people have said.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in then.
So the education ministry has failed woefully.
You said that over. Thank you very much for calling in. I have to go to other callers because we are almost out of time. Then 5-1. Good evening.
I want to
talk about it.
What's your name? What's your name? I speak up, please. Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Love Day, calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Love Day. I would appreciate it if you can speak up, please.
Thank you very much. I want to talk about the Ministry of Education.
You too? All right, go ahead.
Yes, because that is one of the ministries that always bother me every day. Each time they're talking about commissioner. Can you imagine that the past government, the level of primary school they built? Because if you see the past government, they scatter almost all the primary schools in the River State by building a new primary school, and the level they stop, that is how it is today. You go to your kind of community, the way the block is from the beginning of the block is today, that is how it is. They have never started to any level. They remain there. What they do was they went to Bori and they renovate the BNGS secondary school. After that one, there's no any other primary school. There's no any other thing they did. But all what they're saying is that they're improving in education. In what sector, in what area they improve education?
So you're saying you like the last caller saying that the commissioners have not done very well.
They have not done anything about education at all because it still remains the same way the past government lead it. The past 4 years now, there's no difference, no improvement.
All right, thank you very much.
Let me tell you one thing before I run up. If you go to my community now, let's say primary school have primary 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6. But I told you, Kala, that there's only one teacher that is coming to that school every day.
All right. So I believe the governor is listening and is going to do something about it. I mean, there are certain ministries that I believe you all have spoken about and given your reservations, and I believe the governor is listening, and something will be done about it. 95.1.
Hello, Caleb.
Yeah, good evening. Bani, right?
My name is Bani.
All right, welcome.
Right. I want to say that I find the most time to comparing
Sorry, Manu Bani, I can barely hear you. What did you say?
I did not find the basis for comparing federal ministers and state commissioners.
No, we're not comparing. We're talking about them different.
Yeah, but I think the governor said is.
Oh, okay, yeah. He said that, yeah.
What's the essence of that? Because we are talking about ministries and their performance. And if we are talking about Ministry of Housing, we could say, okay, we built 1,000 low-cost houses. Ministry of Health, we could say we were able to upgrade 100 or 200 health centers, and they were fully equipped. Hello?
I can hear you.
Good.
Well, Manu Bani, if I should come in here, I think the comparison was not really to spite the federal government, but I think it was just to show the level of professors and PhD holders he had in his cabinet. I don't really think.
No, see, that's a subtle way of diverting attention.
Interesting.
Good, because you are talking about even the Ministry of the Environment. Are you aware that the tax chairman is the Wema administrator, and the Wema is under the Ministry of the Environment?
Yeah.
And just the Ministry of the Environment and the party chairman, who is more powerful and who can supervise the other person. Hello?
I can hear you.
Can the Commissioner for Environment, bring down the hammer against the party chairman, if the justice all over the place, give share the concern to say, I want to discipline the person under my ministry? It's impossible. So there are many convulsions. Are you listening?
I can hear you.
And let me also say that the work of the commissioner is a commission project. Now, when maybe you bring Southern Africa, the commission a project is not work. The commissioner is redundant. When you bring, Saraki, a commission a building project, the commissioner is redundant. So there are many, dramatic things. So
placed in government.
All right.
That when you begin to look at them, you only chuckle, you giggle, you cringe.
All right, thank you, Manu Bani, for calling. Yeah, thank you very much for calling in. All right, this one says the governor's statement about the professionalism of his cabinet than that of the president is very unnecessary and unruly. He should concentrate more in formulating policy that can help to better the lives of Rivers people than always playing politics at all times. He's living below expectation, yet he comes every day to blow his trumpet. He should try and fulfill some of his promises because they are filled with emptiness. Too bad. Eleanor Indidi. All right, which of the ministers does the president say did well? He has incompetent hands in various ministries as ministers. Chris from Abba. All right, this one says which of the ministers? The same story, the same text message. What's the time now? I can take one last call quickly. 951.
Good evening, Canada.
Yeah, good evening. Quickly, you're the last caller for tonight.
Okay, my name is Kingsley Amuka. I'm calling from Uniport.
All right, Kingsley from Uniport. Welcome.
Thank you, Canada. I think the Commissioner for Education has done well in fact.
So, are you saying what the other people? I mean, two people have called and said the Commissioner for Education did absolutely nothing.
But I have observed the two ways in which he has made some changes. In although I am not a private, I'm not a school owner or administrator.
Yeah.
But then, from observation, I think he has done well, and I would like to tell the governor to look beyond political settlement in making the next appointment. He has nothing to look forward to in terms of any more tenure of office as governor of Rivers State, so he can as well just do away with anybody who will not have the capacity to perform. He should look for those who have capacity. He should look for those. I think, Canada, I think Rivers State has the potential to compete with Lagos State, and that is what I want to see Rivers State become. I want to see Rivers State begin to compete with Lagos State, and I think that is what the governor should use the second term to achieve for Rivers State.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling in then. And that's the last caller for tonight, and that's the much we can take on the show as well. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for all your contributions. But at this point, we've got to go for the world news. So stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM. This has been Opinion Poll. Join me tomorrow for another edition, actually the last edition for the weekend. We get to talk more for the development of Nigeria. I am Kalada, and stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Good evening. This is the world news at 10 on your premium talk radio today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Kala Dako Rubasibo. The headlines. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike dissolves State Executive Council. Rivers State Governorship Elections Petition Tribunal dismisses petitions of Labour Party and People's Progressive Party. President of Court of Appeals Dina Bokachua withdraws from Presidential Election Tribunal for personal reasons. On the foreign scene, calls for resignation of British Prime Minister Theresa May intensifies. Now, the details. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has dissolved the State Executive Council. Governor Wike, during the valedictory session of the Rivers State Executive Council, commended former members of his cabinet for their contributions to the development of the state. The governor said he will continue to promote Rivers State first at all times, adding that the interest of the state is ahead of all other considerations. The governor also disclosed that some of the members of the dissolved Executive Council would make it back to the new Executive Council.
Yes,
cabinet has been dissolved. Those of you who experience in politics, you know that that does not mean that that's the end of you participating in the governance structure. Obviously, it will be impossible to have 100% of everybody to return because of the political structure of our area. I can assure you that obviously some people will come back to the cabinet. I cannot start up a total new cabinet. It's not possible. And so if you are not there, don't see it as if you are hated. No, that may be one reason or the other. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for this support and believe that we'll continue to work together. On that basis, I hereby dissolve the State Radio Council.
The high point of the valedictory session of the River State Executive Council was the presentation of special congratulatory card to the governor by the former members of the council. The Cold War between the River State Governor Nyesom Wike and the Nigerian Army has continued, with the governor declaring that he contested the 2019 governorship election against the military and won. Governor Wike declared that the People's Democratic Party clearly defeated the general officer commanding the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Jamil Sam, and his political party during the 2019 general elections, saying that the bribery allegation by the GOC is false and a mere face-saving measure. The governor spoke during the valedictory session of the River State Executive Council. He said the GOC recently appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Army, but never made any such allegation because nothing like that took place. The governor reiterated that the GOC runs an all-bunkery scheme which cannot be swept away by what he described as flimsy allegations. The River State Governorship Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Port Harcourt has dismissed the petition of the Labour Party and its candidate Isaac Wanwu against the victory of Governor Nyesom Wike. A lead judge of the tribunal, Justice G.K. Kaigama, granted the order following an application by counsel to the Labour Party Uche Olewune, who applied for the withdrawal of the petition and that the petition of Wanwu be struck out. Our correspondent reports that all the lawyers in the matter did not oppose the application of the Labour Party to withdraw from the tribunal. Counsel to the Labour Party, Uche Olewune, in an interview with Newsman, spoke on the decision of his clients to withdraw his petition.
My clients being the candidate of Labour Party, Chief Isaac Wong, and the party itself, having come to terms that there is need for them to have a synergy with the governor, they decided in their wisdom that at this point they want to let the petition go. And that's strictly what we have come to do this morning. And the court, in its wisdom, has graciously granted that. And the petition has been struck out. The election petition is sui generis. Unlike ordinary civil matters that if a matter is struck out, maybe you can come back and release. In election petition matter, once a matter is struck out or dismissed as the case, once it's struck out, that's the end of the matter. So we're not coming back here. That's it's a goodbye to this particular tribunal.
In the same vein, the three-man election petition tribunal has also dismissed the petition of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, against the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Governor Nyesom Wike, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. The petition of PPP was dismissed following an application for withdrawal by the party. Counsel to PPP, Chibuzo Ezike, who is also the national legal advisor of the party, told newsmen outside the court that his party, after due consultation, decided to withdraw the petition for the interest of River State. Ezike also dismissed insinuations that the withdrawal was linked to monetary inducement.
The decision of the National Executive Committee of the party, after due consultation and taking judicial notice of what happened in the last election in River State, and in the interest of the public and Nigerians and the people of River State, the party decided to take other routes available to them. When people were in court, we had the affidavit of affidavit against illegal withdrawal. It's not. It's just for the interest of the River State people and Nigeria at large.
Also speaking, counsel to INEC Abdul Hakim Mustafa, who is the senior advocate of Nigeria, spoke on why he opted for the dismissal of the matter instead of striking out as sought by the Labour Party, as stated in the Electoral Act.
The petitioners, in their wisdom, decided to withdraw the petition. But before they withdrew, the third respondent, that is INEC, filed a notice of preliminary objection that the petition be dismissed, that it lacks merit and is not in compliance with the Electoral Act of 2010 as amended. Based on that, they apparently they came up and decided to withdraw, and we filed relevant affidavit to show that there's no collusion, and more importantly, we urge the court to dismiss the petition, not to strike it out. There's a difference. The reason why we ask for dismissal is because we have joined issues. We have filed a preliminary objection and we have filed a reply to their petition. And the court agreed with us that the proper order to make is to dismiss the petition, and the court accordingly dismissed the petition.
Meanwhile, the Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Port Harcourt will tomorrow hear a motion in the petition filed by the African Action Congress and its candidate, Biokwamabo Awara, against the Independent National Electoral Commission, the People's Democratic Party, and its candidate, Governor Nyesom Wike. Senior lawyer Chijioke Tasie, who appeared for both Africa Action Congress and its candidate, informed the court of an ex-parte motion for a change of legal representation. If the motion is granted, Chijioke Tasie and his team will only represent the governorship candidate of AAC, while Henry Bello will represent the party. The three-man panel led by Justice G.K. Kaigama, after listening to the argument from the parties, adjourned till tomorrow, the 23rd of May 2019, to hear the motion. Speaking outside the court, Chijioke Tasie and Henry Bello, who are both counsels to AAC and his candidate, spoke with newsmen on the development.
Motion expert, and in the course of events, the second petitioner filed a notice of change of counsel, and to that effect, the motion expert would not go on, and it has been adjourned. Mr. H. A. Bello.
In exercise of their right to counsel of their choice, enshrined in Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and garnished by the provisions of extant rules of the Federal High Court and Election Petition Tribunal, AAC decided to choose me and my colleagues as their counsel to appear for them in place of highly respected senior advocate of Nigeria, Taiwo E. Taiwo. So we have a situation therefore where we have Taiwo E. Taiwo appearing for the first petitioner, Awara, and my humble self and my colleagues appearing for AAC.
More stakeholders have continued to express concerns over the rising insecurity in Ogoniland. The Apex Sociocultural Organization in Ogoniland, Kagote, also condemned the recent killings in the area by suspected cultists. The spokesman of Kagote, Chief Livinus Bikel, who spoke in an interview with our correspondent, also expressed concerns over the activities of a group known as Ba Kabari, who, he said, went against the agreement reached at a meeting of all stakeholders of Ogoniland held in the entire local government area of the state. Bikel said the group had gone ahead to call a separate meeting of some youth leaders against the arrangement that all paramount rulers in Ogoniland should take charge in sanitizing their community for crime traditionally within 14 days.
Because after the communique was read out to people, that after 14 days, everything will be done traditionally and otherwise to ensure that that kind of thing did not happen. All of a sudden, some people who call themselves Pakabari woke up and called another meeting of the youths. And the traditional ruler said, no, this was not the arrangement. And from there, the thing started coming up again. So there is the tendency for me to put the blame on the Pakabari, because they violated the terms of the agreement reached at the Sakwe meeting.
The Kagote spokesman also preferred possible solutions to the recent criminal activities in Ogoniland.
First of all, the Pakabari people should be called to question, and then another meeting would be arranged where things will be put in the proper perspective. But when everybody who is who in Ogoni sit down, met and took such a decision, it was very, very unfortunate that things like that should happen. These are people who are seeking for something for their personal need. Otherwise, why would anybody do something otherwise from what was agreed upon generally by the Ogoni ethnic nationality at that meeting?
The management of Rivers State University has expressed its readiness to partner with the Nigerian Army in sourcing local content for its operations. Vice Chancellor of Rivers State University, Professor Blessing Didier, gave the assurance while receiving a research team from Army Headquarters, Abuja. Professor Didier, who spoke on the research base of the university, said the program would cement relationship between the Army and the university. Leader of the delegation and head of Transformation and Innovation, Army Headquarters, Major General Felix Agugo, said the university has been chosen by the Nigerian Army as a research center for sourcing of local materials for the production of military hardware.
Intellectual products from this university to improve the local content of the provisioning of our military logistics and equipments that we use for our operations. The university's larger gain is in the fact that they are contributing to national development by contributing to the Nigerian Army. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that it will also continue to encourage the university lecturers who are the owners of the intellectual products, who do the work and produce things that are usable.
The National Butchers Union of Nigeria warning the general public to be careful on the kind of meat they purchase in the market, eateries, and from meat-selling outlets in Rivers State. A Rivers State chairman of the union, Alhaji Musa Ahmed, gave the advice in an interview with correspondent Alfred Alarichi. Baba Ahmed, while disassociating its members from the sale of chemically preserved meat, stressed that whatever illness that comes in the state as a result of meat consumption is not from any of their slaughters.
The meat that is containing that chemical, the chemical is formalin, which they use in mortuary, washing all these dead bodies. So those who are using that is those butchers that bring meat. You see all these big companies where they supply meat to auction, they do come to our slaughter and other slaughters to buy meat to feed all these fast food and the rest of them. But now they are not coming. No. Why? Because they do get any kind of meat very cheap. Our fear, if there is any disease, an epidemic, they said, is butchers, while our hands is clean. If you see meat is very, very cheap, fly no the near them. Avoid that meat and make sure there are certain butchers who have been there for years. Do business with them.
On his part, Rivers State Chairman of the Nigeria Veterinary Medical Association, Fidel Ezem, condemned the use of formalin chemical used for meat preservation, adding that such chemicals are cancerous, capable of damaging the liver, lungs, and other vital parts of the body. A few days ago, the Ministry of Agriculture in Rivers State set up a committee to read the markets of meat preserved with formalin, which is a chemical used by morticians to preserve dead bodies. You're listening to the World News on Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news before the foreign scene. Stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
You're listening to the World News at 10 on Today, 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Welcome back. The Nigerian Senate has urged the Rivers State government to immediately liaise with the security agencies in the state to stop the incessant killings and kidnapping of innocent citizens. The Senate came up with the resolution following the motion titled Frightening Killings in Rivers State, moved by Senator Andrew Uchendu of Rivers East Senatorial District. The Senate also urged the federal and the Rivers State government to develop workable strategies that would stop the rising cases of killings in the state. Nigeria's upper chamber therefore appealed to all sons and daughters of Rivers State to work towards finding a lasting peace in the state. The chairman of the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, Justice Zainab Bukachua, has withdrawn from the tribunal for personal reasons. Our withdrawal comes after the tribunal dismissed an application by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate in the presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, asking Justice Bukachua to recuse herself from the tribunal. The PDP and Abubakar had based the application, among other things, on the ground that Justice Bukachua is the wife of Adamu Bukachua, a prominent member of the All Progressives Congress and senator-elect for Bauchi North Senatorial District, which is a political party involved in the suit. However, in delivering the lead ruling on the application, Justice Peter Ige said not enough materials had been presented before the court to show that Justice Bukachua will be biased in the hearing and the decisions on the petition. Stressing that a relationship is not culpable of prejudicing the case, Justice Ige concluded the petitioners have not satisfied the requirements for the president of the tribunal to recuse herself. Justice Bukachua, on her part, agreed with the lead judgment and the dismissal of the application, but said she will recuse herself for personal reasons. She explained that she insisted that the matter be heard by the full court so that in the future another female judge will not face the same thing she faced. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed ministers to continue working in their capacities until Tuesday, May 28, 2019. President Buhari gave the directive at the valedictory Federal Executive Council meeting held at the State House in Abuja. The president acknowledged that the meeting was the last of his cabinet for the 2015 to 2019 tenure, but told the ministers to keep working and prepare to hand over to the permanent secretaries of their various ministries. The ministers are expected to submit the handover letters to the secretary to the government of the federation on the same date. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed that the Apapa gridlock be cleared up immediately. President Buhari also ordered the immediate removal of all trucks from the bridges and roads within Apapa and all adjoining streets leading to the area. Apapa has been known for gridlock, which has crippled commercial activities despite being referred to as the gateway to the nation's economy due to the siting of ports and terminals. But in a series of tweets on his official Twitter handle, the presidency gave truck operators and drivers 72 hours to vacate access roads to the port. The presidency also set up a task force headed by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to clear up the gridlock in Apapa and its environs within 2 weeks. On the foreign scene, 5 NGO workers in Zimbabwe have been charged with plotting to overthrow the government. They appeared before a Harare magistrate where they were alleged to have received training in the Maldives in acts of terrorism and civil disobedience. The state says they had attended a workshop there organized by a Serbian group. The 5 who were arrested at Harare Airport on their return have, however, denied the charges. The British Prime Minister Theresa May is facing growing calls to resign amid a backlash against her Brexit plan from Conservative members of Parliament. Several cabinet ministers have told the BBC that May cannot stay, with one saying it is the end of the line. Others, however, insist that Theresa May should push on with a plan to put a withdrawal agreement bill to a vote. Sources said the chief whip, Julian Smith, has informed backbench MPs that the Prime Minister is not resigning. On entertainment, pop icon Rihanna has released a campaign video for her luxury fashion brand Fenty, featuring popular CMS bus stop in Lagos State. The clip shows a wide range of women posing against the backdrop of various sites across the world, including the ever-busy CMS bus stop. The singer, businesswoman, songwriter, and actress is regarded as one of the most influential contemporary recording artists, known for embracing versatile musical styles and reinventing her image through her career. To end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has dissolved the State Executive Council as he promises to reappoint some of the former members. The Rivers State Governorship Elections Petition Tribunal has dismissed the petitions of the Labour Party and the People's Progressive Party. The President of Court of Appeal, Zena Bukachua, has withdrawn from the Presidential Election Tribunal for personal reasons. On the foreign scene, the calls for the resignation of the British Prime Minister Theresa May has intensified. That was the news. That's edited by Chinidi Uwuna. For comments and enquiries, please call 0815-341-8657 or 0814-434-3502 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Kala Da Kuru Batsubo. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
So good to have you here. Representatives from Daily Income, Engineer Offer Monday. He's the MD CEO Funny Vision Nigeria Limited. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
Mr. Gabriel Hero, entrepreneur.
Thank you. Good morning.
Engineer Victor Etin. Good to have all of you here. For the sake of the so many who have not heard this, and I'll be surprised if they haven't, but for the sake of those who haven't, what is Daily Income Stores?
Okay, for those who are tuning in for the first time to this frequency, Daily Income Store is a physical store here. Of course, that all you need to do is to walk into this store to do your own shopping. Of course, and then after your shopping, you have to drop your account details. Why do you have to do that? So that as other people are shopping from that same store, you'll be getting daily income or daily alert. And the good news is that this store sells things that we cannot do without. For example, you are hearing me right now. You cannot stay without not brushing your mouth. You're going to use chewing stick or toothpaste. You cannot stay without not taking your bait. You're going to use solid soap, liquid soap, or solid soap. That means human being daily needs and one cannot be satisfied. All these things are available in Daily Income Stores. Your normal daily needs and one, things you cannot do without. So all you need to do is to walk into Daily Income Stores only once in a year to do your shopping. Then you drop your account details. As other people are shopping after you from the same store, you'll be getting daily income. We are already 13 years in over 100 countries. We are already 7 years in Nigeria. And we are telling you we are holding a big business event because some people don't know about this. That are holding a training to show them how things works. And of course, if you are already hearing me and you're looking forward to have an extra income, looking forward to have a project, for financing a project, you need money to actually take it to a level. We can show you this opportunity. You go to Daily Income Stores, you do your shopping. Of course, you drop your account details. As other people are shopping after you, you'll be getting daily income. So if you're interested to be part of this event, we're going to give you details more soon.
What makes this store different? What's the innovation? What's special about Daily Income Stores?
Honestly speaking, I've been saying this over and over again. What makes us different is this. Traditionally, walk into any store, what you do is that you give money in exchange for goods or services. That's what you do traditionally. And of course, you walk out of the store. Transaction has been completed. But in Daily Income Stores, you don't just give money in exchange for goods or services. The company will give you an opportunity to drop your account details. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes us quite called that advancement in technology. That is the innovation about our business.
All right then. So shop and then drop your account
details.
And as people shop after you
in that same particular store, not all the stores.
That's okay. Not all the stores.
Not all the stores.
Okay.
There's a particular store you go to do your shopping. This store is already 7 years in Nigeria.
Mr. Gabriel Hero, how real is this? How true is this? Has this happened to you before?
For me, my experience with Daily Income Stores is phenomenal. And that's because as a business coach and a mentor, I'm always very keen to know the root of everything I'm into, especially when I look at the relationship between myself and the people I'm mentoring. So at Daily Income Stores, I've come to realize that for every budding entrepreneur, they have the necessary business skill that's required of anybody who wants to go out there and make money. And you're not just making money. In today's world, there's what we call sustainable development. And for you to have a sustainable development, you have to think of a sustainable source of income. And Daily Income Source is one store that gives you that guarantee that you can actually make money on a sustainable basis. For example, my personal testimony, when I went to Daily Income Source for the very first time.
Where did you hear them on radio, just like this?
Yeah, I was driving. I was driving to my normal business day. I heard them talking about Daily Income Source over the radio. So I picked interest. I got the number. I text. I think that day it was text something. Enjoy. Yes. So I was keen to really enjoy the ride with Daily Income Source. So I got there. I sat down. I listened to everything. Their seminar presentation was awesome, and the guys were very nice with me as a person. So at the end, I asked a few questions, and they answered me adequately. Then I shopped, and after shopping, they asked me to drop my account number, which was something I've never seen before. And I thought, is this for online? Okay, let me just drop the account number. So I did. I left the account number with them. Got their product home. Their products were very awesome. The product, the beverages, everything were wonderful. Share with my neighbors, and they loved it. Then a few days later, I got an alert in my phone. And it was from Daily Income Source. So at that point, I was convinced that for real, this thing is legitimate. This thing is real.
It's real.
And people are actually making a lot of money on Daily Income Stores.
Okay, good. So I'm also going to ask Mr. Victor now to share his experience.
All right, thank you very much. My humble self, I actually heard about Daily Income Stores on radio. Actually, it was on a Saturday because I worked in one of the multinationals, and no, I don't work on Saturdays. So it was on a Saturday I tuned to my radio. I heard about Daily Income Stores where you shop once, you drop your account number, you get paid as other customer shops after you. Of course, the first day I heard, I doubted it. I did not believe it. I was wondering how possible was it. that you're going to shop, then you get paid as other customers shop from the same store. It was the second Saturday I heard about it again. I said, okay, a question came to me, have you not used toothpaste? I answered myself, I've used toothpaste. So why not go and see? I went to the program. On getting there, I saw that the products they actually had were all NAFDA certified toothpaste, soap, beverages, things that we use every day. Of course, they are packed in hampers. I decided to pick an hamper for myself. Before I left, I dropped my account details. I got home, I told my wife about it. We used the product. It was awesome. Of course, I told all my neighbors and every other person. Wednesday, they did their shopping. But today, a few days later, I got an alert. I must confess to you that what I'm getting from Daily Income Stores today has been wow. I don't want to mention figures on the air. But for those that are listening.
They're looking at you. And this has been consistent. As people have continually
as other people keep shopping from the same stores. Of course, so 2 years. That's what I'm saying. For 2 years now, it's not what it's just happening.
So Daily Income money 2 years now.
Of course, it's not new. That's why we are here in this city to tell the people about it.
So who can be part of the training?
Actually, we are expecting to see everybody. We are expecting doctors, engineers, commissioners, educated. As far as you are spending money every day, you deserve to make money every day from Daily Income Stores. At least everybody, of course, need an extra income. And definitely it's a one opportunity for you. I shopped 4 years ago. So I've been getting daily alert for the past 4 years. So you are doubting, come and see me at the venue of the program. And it's going to happen tomorrow. No African time. By 11 o'clock for the morning section. You cannot come by morning. We have the evening section by 4 p.m. It's an hour training. We have question time for question and answer. For those who want to actually do their shopping, you can do it at the venue of the program. You can pick your packages at the venue of the program. You can always drop your account number because bankers are always there for those who don't have account number to open the account. So we have free product for the first 100 participants. No more 10. But we normally have crowds in our program, so we're increased to 100 right now. So if you're interested, just text the word enjoy. For those who want to enjoy in 2019, I think he's going to help me call the number. Please text the word enjoy.
Just text enjoy to this number
0802 050 9208. 0802 050 9208. Again, 0802 050 9208.
Okay, so I know that this is fantastic. You said you've been with it 2 years, you have 4 years, you last year, and then it has been awesome. But as we all know, with every business, there's got to be some risk to it. There must be something about the job that you must tell people that see you.
Okay. Sure. There's a risk involved. The risk involved is that if you shop from Daily Income Stores and no one else shop from that store, the store cannot pay us because
that particular store now.
That particular store. It's not Ponzi scheme, it's not cryptocurrency, it's not charity organization, it's not an NGO. This is a real business opportunity. So, but the question is that would there ever be a time people will not shop from the store? The answer is no. People keep shopping every day. For the past 7 years, this store has been in Nigeria. We are shopping every single day. And of course, the good news is that we get daily income. And I think, let him say the final word, because we're running out of time.
All right, go ahead. Let me have the final word.
For those still doubting, is it real? Is it possible? I want to tell you, for 2 years now, I've been earning this money. The first day I heard, I actually doubted it. So for you to be part of this program, like we said, you need to text us enjoy to this number so that we can reserve a seat for you. The numbers
0802 050 9208. 0802 050 9208. Again, 0802 050 9208.
Like we said, you need to text us enjoy to this number so that we can reserve a seat for you. We are going to reply you accordingly.
And you did not tell us last year, John, all expense paid trip because he patronated this lot.
Was he on the trip?
Yeah, last year.
Of course.
Okay.
All expense paid trip.
He's also coming. I saw his name already.
He's okay. I love those of us who just came in to go.
That's a good one.
Let me get your last word then.
All right, for me, I would like to say seeing is believing. Don't just sit back home and hear this program on radio and ask questions to yourself. If you have any question, just come to Daily Income Stores. Bring all the questions, bring all your reservations to Daily Income Stores. Everything will be taken care of.
Okay,
Fantastic.
for my own, the final word is that the difference between where you are right now and where you want to be tomorrow is action. You cannot always complain about the economy, you cannot always complain about the government, you cannot complain about everything. You have the right to take action, you have the right to take decision to do different things to get a different result. So if I want to be part of this event, product we have is for the first 100 people that will be at the program. Just send the word enjoy.
The numbers
0802 050 9208. 0802 050 9208. Again, 0802 050 9208.
See you there. God bless you. Remain blessed.
Thank you very much.
Memories are sometimes forgotten or misplaced. But hey, I found a safe place where you could store your memories. Yes! On Nostalgia Drive, we take you on a flight back in time and walk you through the hours of the beautiful, sweet old memories that you just love. Join Calendar every weekday from Monday through Thursday by 10:30 p.m. Nostalgia Drive, the safe haven for good old memories. Only on Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days.
Memories are sometimes forgotten or misplaced. But hey, I found a safe place where you could store your memories. Yes! On Nostalgia Drive, we take you on a flight back in time and walk you through the hours of the beautiful, sweet old memories that you just love. Join Calendar every weekday from Monday through Thursday by 10:30 p.m. Nostalgia Drive, the safe haven for good old memories. Only on Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days. All the love.
Yeah. It's a general saying that African men are not romantic. Not me, man. I'm straight. My name is Zubi and I'm a one-woman man. I got this girl and I'm really in love with her, man. Yeah. I don't know whether or not because she's big, bold, or sometimes stubborn, good looking. They get what you tell me once, and you always ring for my head, and it goes like this.
I did see you, boy, from my area. Every time I see you, they give me malaria. Each time I pray, the pain will go away. But every time I turn around, I see your lovely face. My friends, they tell me, say, I don't go low. Say, even when I go Chris, I don't go low. Say, the way I did love, say, no be so. Say, even when I kill myself, I don't go low. Wait till you do me, wait till you give me. How you do, and the way you do, because it's strong, well, and I love you, well, I can cry, well, I can fight, well, I can try to pretend, but boy, you look so tender. Back to sender, whatever, man, I don't surrender.